I wish I could sit here and tell you that I was surprised. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I was angry. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I didn't expect this. I mean, obviously I predicted a win, but as Nebraska fans, what we've seen the past decade, what we've seen the past 20 years, we should not be surprised by this result at all. And I'm not angry really. I'm just incredibly disappointed with this team, the players, the coaching staff, but particularly the coaching staff, because we did not look prepared today. We got out-disciplined, out-game planned on every single fast all three phases of the ball game. Matt Rule did not look prepared. John Butler did not look prepared. Dane Holgerson, we'll have a conversation about him. He did not look prepared. I'm not surprised. We knew kind of the result of the ball game when it was going to the second quarter, when they were establishing their will on the ground. And let me remind you guys that going into this ball game, Minnesota had one of the worst ground attacks in the Big Ten. One of the worst ground attacks in the Big Ten. They could not run the football. And yet today they did everything they wanted against us. They just dinked and dunked down the field. Darius Taylor looked great. Whenever Drake Lindsey would drop back to pass, he'd have it all day in the pocket. The pass rush could not get there. And they get a nice little 5-10 yards every single time. The secondary didn't play well. And then obviously the big conversation is the offense, because we need to talk about the offensive line. We need to talk about Dylan Raiola. We need to talk about where we go from here, because I'll start off with this. This was a wake-up call to everybody. I think this is a wake-up call to me. This is a wake-up call to every Nebraska fan. I never really believed. I told you guys this. I told you guys this in my playoff video not too long ago, which is funny. Funny we were talking about playoffs a couple days ago, right? I told you guys in my playoff video. I never thought Nebraska could make the playoffs because we were a good enough team to make the playoffs. I never thought that. I never believed Nebraska from a talent standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, was good enough to make the playoffs. The reason why we were having legit conversation about the playoffs is because this is as easy of a schedule as it's ever going to get. We will never have a schedule this easy again in the Big Ten. In Minnesota, I'll give them credit. They played well, but Minnesota's not a great team when it's all said and done. They're just coached very well. They incredibly disciplined, great trenches. They dominated us in all the trenches. Our offensive line couldn't hold a block. Our defensive line couldn't get a pass rush. Okay, so we should have won this Minnesota game. We obviously should have won. We should have beat Michigan State by 1,000,000 points. We should have beat Michigan State or Maryland by 1,000,000 points. The reason why I bring this up is because the writing was on the wall. And there's a reason why I was a little bit disappointed after the past two wins, is because I told you guys, if we play like we did versus Maryland, we would lose. Not only did we lose today, we got dominated, we got exposed, we got embarrassed. This game was on national television, and we showed everybody that we were a fraud again. We showed everybody that you can never talk about Nebraska in a positive light, because they will prove to you their true colors. They will show you their true colors. We do not hide away from that. We are a team that when the lights get bright, whether it's on national television, whether it's on the road, on a night game, or when we're ranked in this instance, we are a team that when the lights get bright, we do not play up to snuff. Okay, we crumble, we collapse. Whether that's the players, Dylan Raiola, Matt Rule has this tendency, not only at Nebraska, but at every place he's win. When the lights get bright, Nebraska doesn't know how to handle them. That's the frustrating thing. That's the annoying thing. That's what I'm disappointed with. We obviously played a terrible game today. This game should have been close. I mean, it wasn't close. But I'm more so disappointed with what this means for the bigger picture, because now the Northwestern game is in question. That's probably going to be a 5-2 team next week that comes into Lincoln. They're going to beat Purdue tomorrow. That's going to be a tough ball game. Northwestern is very similar to Minnesota, where they're very disciplined. We play USC. I mean, that's a loss, right? We can pencil that one down. And then we have some tough games. The UCLA's looking hot. Iowa's looking hot, right? We know that Penn State has talent. So I'm disappointed what it means for the bigger picture. I'm not going to sit here and rant. I know a lot of you guys probably want me to rant and get super angry. And that might come tomorrow. That might come as the live stream progresses. I'll probably get more mass live stream goes on as we talk about this. I'm just really disappointed and sad. That's just what it is. This game was personal to me. I told you guys that all week. This game was personal, man. I wanted to win this one more than all the others. I really did. Man, I'm getting really emotional. Okay, I'm trying to get emotional. I wanted this game badly, is what I mean. Okay, I don't like Minnesota. We don't like Minnesota. What they did to us 2 years ago, that was horrific. They wanted a walk-off field goal. And yet, for whatever reason, what's crazy about this ball game is since that game 2 years ago and we lost, Minnesota has gotten worse as a program, and we'd like to think we got better as a program. And yet, they won by a lot more this year. That tells you a lot about who our head coach is and who their head coach is, right? That tells you a lot about PJ Fleck and Matt Rule. And for whatever reason, I think Nebraska was too focused on, what uniforms are we wearing? We got to wear some new helmets this week. We got to put on the pink decals. We got to wear the all whites. We got to break these curses. The Penn State rumors. We have to talk about the Penn State rumors. We were focused on everything but the Minnesota game. That's what we were focused on. Everything but. And Matt Rhule said, oh, we're not letting the Penn State talk affect anything. We're not letting the Penn State talk, affect our preparation, our game playing, nothing. Clearly that was a lie. I mean, I'm at the point with Matt Rhule, all he does is lie. He lied about the defensive line in the offseason. He told you guys the defensive line would be hell on wheels. Yeah, the defensive line is one of the worst in college football. He told you guys the offensive line would be arguably top 20 in America. That's what he said, bar for bar in July. He told you, he looked in your eyes, he looked in my eyes too, and said the offensive line will be a strength of this team, will be top 20 in America. You're right, Matt Rhule. It is top 20 in America. Top 20 worst in America. That's what it is. So I get the whole Matt Rhule politician thing. He wants to hype up his players, but I just want him to be honest, man. Okay, if there's some strengths of this team, tell us. If there's some weaknesses of this team, tell us. But for you to sit here and tell us the offensive line would be a strength, and he gave up 9 sacks in the day officially. Gunnar Gattuso gave up 4 of those sacks. That's disgraceful. That's disrespectful to Nebraska fans. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. So again, this was a wake-up call. At least here's the silver lining. Here's the silver lining, guys. We don't have to sit here, and worry about Matt Rhule leaving, because guess who's watching this game? All the Penn State fans are watching this game. They don't want anything to do with Matt Rhule after this game. I'm not out on Matt Rhule. People will make assumptions and say, "Oh, Wilson, you're completely out on Matt Rhule." I'm not. Okay, I'm not giving up on Matt Rhule, but for him to lie all offseason about this team's quality and say, "Oh, this is the big breakout year. We're going to win 9 games down the stretch. We're going to be in the mix for the playoffs." Nobody has faith in that anymore. It's clear this offensive line's not any good. It's clear Dylan Raiola, he has a lot of issues. I mean, let's start off with Dylan. I mean, we can go. We'll get back to the O-line. Trust me, it'll be a long show tonight. We'll have a late night. I want to start off with Dylan because he is the quarterback of this team, and I'm at the point with Dylan where, what do we do with Dylan? What do we do with him? Because the highs are high, and there are so many highs, but there are so many lows with Dylan. And when people talk about the lows, people are like, oh, well, they make up excuses for Dylan. Why? Dylan is an average quarterback. He is. And it's incredibly insightful to me when we play on the road today. We play against Minnesota against a second-year quarterback in Drake Lindsey, and Drake Lindsey outplayed him in all 4 quarters. This is a lot about Dylan Raiola, doesn't it? And again, Dylan had his moments, right? He had the nice little, he had those highlight reel plays with the left-handed pass. Of course, he threw that one on the run where he was diving. He looked like Mahomes. Like, cool, he has his moments. But when you need to get a first down and you need a crucial play, Dylan's not the quarterback to do that. He's not, he just isn't a clutch quarterback. He's not a quarterback with great fundamentals. He does not have good mechanics at all. We've talked about that. He has a lot of issues. And the big issue with him today, I think, with Dylan, today, he takes way too many sacks. Again, the offensive line didn't do him any favors. I'm not sitting here and acting like the offensive line is good. The offensive line was abysmal. The offensive line was terrible. But there are times where, again, the pocket's breaking down. Dylan has time to throw it away or, make something happen or escape, and he just steps up and takes a sack, trying to be a superhero. Okay, the best quarterbacks aren't the superhero all the times. Patrick Mahomes is not the superhero all the times. The best quarterbacks make the educated play. Meaning, again, when the pocket breaks down, nothing's there. You just throw the ball away. You make the smart play. That's all it takes. You don't need to be a superhero, Dylan. You don't. Because clearly you're just not a good enough quarterback to be a superhero anyways. The deep ball actually is terrible. I've counted this every single game. Every single game with Dylan, we throw the exact same fade ball to Dane in the end zone. Like literally 7 out of the 7 games we've done this. It's always in the first quarter too. When we're driving, whether it's the first or second drive of the game, we're inside the 10, we throw a fade ball to Dane. I kid you not, in all 7 ball games, Dylan has overthrown that same pass. We are over 7 on fade passes to Dane. Dylan Raiola had another deep ball to Dane Key, I believe in the third quarter, completely overthrew him by 20 yards. Wasn't even close. The deep ball actually was so suspect. Every single time he throws over 20 yards, you just kind of know it's going to be overthrown. And funny enough, the only time Dylan threw like a really good deep ball was in the fourth quarter to Nyziah, and Nyziah dropped it. That's just our luck, right? So I'm at the point with Dylan where, again, the vision's clearly not there. The receivers weren't great today either. Again, it was a complete failure. I want to make that very clear. It was a complete failure. We failed on all 3 phases. The coaching staff, the players, everybody. Everybody failed. But again, there are times where the receivers are open and Dylan just doesn't see him. Dylan doesn't have good vision either. So again, the highs are high with Dylan, but he's an average. I can't even sit here and say he's top 20 anymore, man. Again, I'm not calling for him to get benched. I already see that in the comment section. People want him to be benched. Those people, no. Dylan should not be benched at all. Again, we need to continue to hopefully he improves, and we got to go through this roller coaster, unfortunately, with Dylan. And also, again, we know that he has too many ties to this university. if he gets benched, we might have players transfer out. We might have a lot of things happen. Boosters. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a Raiola deep state. Unfortunately, the Raiola family has this university, by the stones, if you know what I mean. So we got to ride Dillon no matter what, but he was terrible today. And he was terrible against Maryland. Everybody defended him versus Maryland, and I told you guys, no BS, I told you guys he was terrible. He was terrible. Dillon was terrible versus Maryland. He threw 3 interceptions. That was the only reason Maryland was in the bowl game, was because Dillon threw 3 interceptions. That's how you lose games on the road against inferior teams. I told you guys I wasn't going to get worked up, but it frustrates me every single time when I talk about Dillon's flaws. He's not a perfect quarterback, and people, Dillon's just improving. Dillon's only second-year guy. Dillon's not good. He's not. Drake Lindsay outplayed him today. We put up 6 points today, for crying out loud. Does this not mean anything to you? We were 1 win away from a bowl game. We were 1 win away from 6-1. 1 win away from beating Minnesota, getting the monkey off our back, and we put up 6 points on the road. Do you not love this team? Do you love Dillon more than you love the team? Dillon's not good. He has highs. I see him. Trust me. I want Dillon to be good. I love Dillon. I love Dillon more than you love Dillon. And I understand his potential's through the roof. But man, he was bad today. Now, am I sitting here saying Dillon was the #1 reason we lost? I mean, maybe. Again, it was a complete failure. Everybody failed. The offense, defense, special teams, everybody failed. Coaching staff failed. So I'm not going to sit here and say, Dillon Raiola was the #1 reason we lost. No, that's not the case. Everybody was the #1 reason we lost, right? But man, I get so frustrated with the Dillon discussion. So frustrated with it because, again, we can't call what it is. He played terrible today. I mean, let's talk about the offensive line. Let's do it. Let's talk about the offensive line, guys. Sorry, I gotta catch my breath, man. I'm not angry. I really am not. I'm just disappointed. Really, really sad. The offensive line put up one of the worst performances I've ever seen today. And I thought I saw rock bottom versus Michigan. I thought I saw rock bottom versus Michigan State. Oh, we saw nothing. We didn't see anything against those teams. We saw rock bottom. What was it officially? Was it 9 sacks today for Minnesota? 9 sacks. Gunnar Gatula gave 4 of them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And again, going into this ball game, I told you guys Minnesota had a decent pass rush, but it's not that good. Minnesota does not have a top 20 pass rush. We made them look top 20. We made them look like the 85 Bears over here. We made them look elite. We made them look like the Kansas City Chiefs today. It shouldn't look like that, man. Again, and my question is, what do we even do with the offensive line? I'm not talking about the future. Obviously, I know what we do going forward. We get guys in the portal. Clearly, we might have to make a switch on the offensive line coach. But what do we do this year? What do we do? I'm looking at you, Matt Rowe, because you were the one who told us this was going to be the pillar of this team. What do we do? Because I'll look at the tackle spot, for example. Gunnar Gatula was terrible today. We can't bench Gunnar. He gave 4 sacks. We can't bench him because who do we have underneath him? Turner Corcoran, really? You're going to put Turner Corcoran in there? Teddy Prohaska. Teddy gave up 4 versus Michigan. It's not like Teddy's any better. You're going to put in a freshman? You're going to put in Tyler Knack, who gave up a sack today as well? So it's not like we have depth pieces on the offensive line. We're incredibly weak there. What are we going to do with Elijah Pritchett? Everybody loves to defend Elijah Pritchett. He made the worst boneheaded decision I've ever seen. He lets his emotion get ahead of him. He got kicked out for targeting. How do you get kicked out for targeting when you're an offensive tackle? You're a bonehead. You're a bonehead off the field. You're a bonehead on the field. Elijah, figure it out, man. We're paying you too much money to do that crap. So we don't have any tackles on this team. The interior play terrible today. Rocco Spindler got injured on the first drive, who was literally the pillar of this line. So it was not too shocking that it fell apart after that. We're going to be rolling with the worst offensive line in college football for the rest of the season unless they make some dramatic changes. And also, the reason why I'm frustrated as well, it's not just the pass rush, or excuse me, it's not just the pass pro. It's in the running game as well. Like Emmett, I thought Emmett played well when he got his chances. Emmett had a really nice play on a screen pass. Emmett did some great job breaking it out and breaking tackles. Like, we never gave Emmett an opportunity to succeed today. Emmett didn't play bad. Emmett was honestly the only player who played good today. And yet this offensive line doesn't give a crap about it. This offensive line clearly doesn't give a crap about Dillon either. This offensive line only cares about themselves. Elijah Pritchett's going to bed every night, counting his $1 million. Oh, count my $1 million. He's spending it on whatever he wants. Rocco Spindler's counting his money. They're not focused on actually winning football games. They clearly don't have any passion for their teammates unless they block better. They really would. This team has no passion because they were clearly too impacted by the outside noise all week long. Again, they never gave Emmett an opportunity to succeed. That's what really saddens me, because Emmett carried this offense for the majority of the ball game. He really did. I mean, we did put up a touchdown today, and yet Emmett was clearly our best player. And also, and that goes to our conversation around Dana. And also, by the way, if you enjoy this rant, hit that like button. I should add that. Hey, if you're someone watching this, you're not subscribed, come on, hit that subscribe button for daily Husker content. It's a no-brainer. I mean, we have the best family Husker YouTube. Be a part of it. All right, let's get to Dana. The thing about Dana that I'm at the point where he's almost in the same category as Matt Rule, because he's getting to the point where he's just lying every single week in the press conferences. Dana looked in our faces on Tuesday and said he's committing to the run game. And he said that he's tired of doing the air raid. He's tired of being inconsistent. If Emmett's working, he's going to stick with Emmett. That's what he told us. He looked dead in our face and told us that. Where was that today? There would be times, I believe, our first drive of the second half, we rolled all the way down the field. We were out the 40-yard line in Minnesota. It was our best drive of the ball game, and that was clearly because of Emmett Johnson. And then we had 3 consecutive passes, and then we punted because that went nowhere. Right? Again, there would be times throughout this ball game where Emmett would be the only reasons why we were getting positive yards, and then Dana would be like, you know what, Emmett, we don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore, Emmett. Just go to the sideline. We're gonna get Dylan. Dylan's gonna take it away. We're gonna air out the football that hasn't worked all season, and then we have another punt. Again, Dana's just so inconsistent. It's so inconsistent. How can we sit here with straight faces and act like Dana's a top coordinator in college football? How can we say that? How can we say that? How can we sit here with straight faces and say that Dana is worthy of going to another job or being the future head coach in Nebraska? How can we possibly say that about Dana when every single week it's getting worse? Okay, we should have not put up 27 versus Michigan. We got lucky with a Hail Mary and a score at the end of the ballgame. We deserved to only put up 13 points versus Michigan. We could not move the football on Michigan State, one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Let's keep it a buck. Maryland, we threw 3 interceptions, and we needed some theatrics to win that football game. And today, it all boiled over. We put up 6 points versus Minnesota. We got embarrassed. I mean, that's what we are. We are an embarrassment. We are a joke, and that's thanks to this coaching staff, and that's thanks to the players. So again, I'm just tired with Dana lying to us about, being consistent with the running game. I'm tired of just the in-game decision making in general. I mean, the play calling's horrific. It's horrific. Again, he thinks he's smarter than everybody. You're not smarter than anybody. You got out-coached and out-schemed by the offensive coordinator at Minnesota, by PJ Fleck. That says a lot, Dana. Again, let's keep it honestly. I mean, John Butler didn't have a great game plan either today, but he definitely had a little better performance than Dana. Mike Eckler did too. Dana's been our worst coordinator this year, and it's not even particularly close. So that's obviously pretty disappointing. The receivers were terrible again today. I thought the receivers actually got open at times. Dane Key was open a couple times. Jacory was open a couple times. I think Dane Key is Dane Key officially back on the milk carton? Let's see the official stats. He is. Dane Key, milk carton. Second game in the last 3 where he had 0 catches for 0 yards. He was out there doing cardio today. So, I mean, we could sit here and talk about Elijah Pritchett, wasting our money. Dane Key's wasting our money. He's wasting our money. We paid, and I sat here 3 weeks ago and I put Dane Key in my dud list, and people were mad at me for that. They're like, Dane Key's playing so well. Yeah, where's that now? For us to pay him $1 million, quote unquote, the best receiver out of the SEC, for him to come in here and have 0 catches and 0 receptions versus Minnesota, one of the worst secondaries in the Big Ten. They had 2 players who were injured in that secondary today, and yet they locked us down for him to 0 catches. That was terrible. Okay. That was terrible. So again, Dane Key was open at times. I'm not saying Dane Key was the problem. Again, people will mix my words and they'll say, how can you say this player was the number one problem? No player's the number one problem. It was a complete failure all around. Dane Key was open at times, but again, 0 catches and 0 receptions. 0 receptions, 0 yards. It's unacceptable. Nyziah Hunter, he had 5 catches. He was awesome, but once again, when the lights got bright, he had an opportunity to get a big play, big catch. He dropped it. Jacory Barney, 1 catch for 1 yard. Yeah, that's pretty disgraceful. It's pretty awful. I mean, it's not hard to get Jacory Barney involved. He's a slot receiver. So again, that falls on Jacory. It falls on Dylan for not finding him. So again, it was all around failure on offense. That's the offense for you. Let's go to the defense, because the defense wasn't much better, guys. The defense was not much better. Again, we made Drake Lindsey, who I think Drake Lindsey is a solid quarterback. I'm not don't get me wrong, I think he's fine, but he's average. We made Drake Lindsey look elite today. He outplayed Dylan all 4 quarters. That falls on his defense. I mean, the secondary was horrific. In the secondary, I told you guys that the secondary was not the number one secondary in America like it's been, like it showed up on the statistics. They're not. Okay. They exposed it. Again, they didn't have any big chunk plays in the receiving game today, but again, it was the dink and dunks that continue to kill us. Again, every single time there'd be a wide open guy in the flat, over the middle on a curl route, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, dink and dunk down the field. Heck, even Malachi Coleman got a catch today. Malachi Coleman going to the ball game only had 1 catch on the year to get to FCS squad. We made Malachi Coleman look good. Are you kidding me right now with the secondary? We missed multiple tackles. Marcus Buford can never play again for Nebraska. I mean, that guy, he needs to be a bench warmer the rest of the year. I mean, he needs to be on the Gatorade cart, handing out Gatorade, handing out water. He needs to be a ball boy or something because Marcus Buford is horrific. He gave up, he did this on 2 times this season. Michigan, he gave up a 75-yard run to Justice Hayes because he took a terrible angle and missed the tackle. And he got benched. And we're like, okay, Marcus Buford learned his lesson. He got benched. Rex Guthrie's been starting now, but Buford's still getting snaps. And yet, when Marcus Buford gets in the ball game versus Minnesota, Darius Taylor take a stretch play out to the right-hand side. Guess who takes another terrible angle and misses the tackle? It's Marcus Buford Jr., and he proceeds to get benched. I don't believe he got another snap in the ball game. Marcus Buford's awful. And once again, I want to remind you that Matt Rule told us all offseason long that he would be one of the best players on this defense. So again, I don't know. It's either 2 things with this coaching staff, okay? It's either the coaching staff is completely naive and doesn't know who on their team's actually good and who on the team's actually bad, or it's that the coaching staff is lying to our face constantly every week of the year. Because Marcus Buford's awful, dude. He's just awful. I mean, we missed multiple more tackles here, right? Missed a crucial tackle on 3rd down. Donovan Jones. Donovan Jones should not play going forward for Nebraska. He gave up the touchdown. He had a crucial pass interference that really sealed the deal for Minnesota. Donovan Jones had a rough 3 or 4 weeks. We have a lot of really good young players on this team, and especially in the secondary. Why not put in a Mario Buford, a Larry Tarver, and a Amari Sanders, who was really good in fall ball, Why are we so reliant on Donovan Jones? Donovan Jones is not a good player. He just isn't, And I think long-term Donovan Jones might be fine. But right now, he's a liability every single time he touches the football field. Okay, Donovan Jones can't play. Andrew Marshall had a really tough game. He had a holding penalty on a 4th down that screwed us. We had multiple crucial penalties in clutch moments. This team continues, again, when the game gets tight. I know we had a clutch win versus Maryland that went down the wire, but again, when we play actually competent teams and the game gets tight, we play like we have no business being in that moment. And we have penalties. And that falls on the coaching staff more than the players because it's clear that the coaching staff, again, penalties fall on the coaching staff. That means you're not a disciplined team. That means you're not doing a good job in practice, you're not doing a good job in fall camp, spring ball. That falls on the coaching staff more than anything. So secondary didn't play well. The defensive line obviously had a terrible day. That shouldn't be shocking to anybody. Did we have a single sack on the day today? We had one. We had 1 sack. Oh yeah, that was Marcus Watson trying to blitz. But that's a linebacker. We didn't actually have a defensive lineman get any pressure. Winier didn't do much today. Cameron Lenhart still in the milk carton, had one tackle. Well, I get that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know. If Cameron Lenhart is still playing for Nebraska, oh man, he's not good either. It was an all-around failure, man. It was an all-around failure. And before we get to the comment section, I'll try to get. We have a lot of super chats I missed. We'll try to get to the super chats. We'll try to pull them up. So again, put in your super chat. We get a lot of comments. If you guys want to comment, instantly put in one. But just to wrap this up, I'm disappointed because to me this team is not any different from last year. People will say that Minnesota's a really good team. Minnesota's not very good. And I try to give our opponents a lot of respect. I try to do that. But look at Minnesota's track record this year. They barely beat Purdue last week. Purdue's one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. They lost to Cal. They got killed by Ohio State. They barely beat Buffalo at the start of their season. What does Minnesota show you all year that they're a good team? They're not a good team. Minnesota's an average team. Minnesota is, if anything, below average. But what Minnesota is a well-coached team. They have a better coach than us. They have better offensive linemen than us, better defensive linemen than us. And they were ready for the big moment. And they're not afraid of the spotlight, and we are. And once again, Nebraska, unfortunately, we prove the critics right all the time. Nebraska can't win on national television. Nebraska can't win with the all-white uniforms. Nebraska can't win when they're ranked. Nebraska can't win against actually competent teams. You're right. I can't prove you wrong. I can't say you're wrong. You're completely right. You're completely right. Nebraska continues to embarrass when it matters the most. And that's really what really is going to resonate with me for a very long time. I will give you one positive. I'll give you a couple positives before we get to the comment section. Here's a positive. Emmett Johnson had a really good game today. Besides the offensive line not giving him many opportunities, Emmett Johnson played well. I truly believe we have a top 5 running back in the Big Ten, maybe top 10 in the country. I'm just very disappointed the offensive line didn't give Emmett Johnson an opportunity to succeed. I thought the linebackers honestly played pretty well today. I thought Marcus Watson trying a really good ball game. Buda Wright a really good ball game. A couple others at times. I don't think Vintage Shavers played today. I think Vintage Shavers was out, honestly, but I think the linebackers played really well. Specialists played well. We made 2 kicks. Archie had some nice punts in there, Specialists played all. I mean, that's really it, guys. That's really all the positives. There's not much. There's not much. There's not much. So again, this team's not really any different, but I'll tell you this. I mean, we will learn a lot about this team from where we go from here. Last year we got hit in the mouth versus Indiana in a very similar fashion. I mean, it's almost identical. It's almost identical to where we were last year versus Indiana. We played Indiana on the road, national television, Fox, just like this. We were 5-1 just like this. We were ranked just like this. We got embarrassed. And what Nebraska proceeded to do after the Indiana game was we slid and we collapsed and we couldn't win football games. We ended the year 1-5, 6-6 on the year, and barely made a bowl game. Will Nebraska do the exact same thing? That's my question to you guys. Do you have any confidence right now in Nebraska still going 9-3? Do you have any confidence in that? Do you have any confidence in Nebraska even going 10-2? I don't think many do. I don't think many have that opinion. I think right now, if I were to put a number to it, I'd say 7 wins. I'd say we beat Northwestern and maybe we beat UCLA and call it good. And that's what's disappointing, And even if we do win 7 games, I mean, that's not something to write home about, This team is talented. We have flaws. Like, clearly we have flaws, guys. Like, the offensive line's not good. The defensive line, I don't know. The defensive line's not good either. But again, we have talent. I mean, it's not talent issue. We play a lot of money for this roster. I mean, we have one of the highest paid rosters in all college football. So clearly talent isn't the issue. The issue is that for whatever reason, we're not coached very well. These players don't care. A lot of these players, I believe, are greedy and care about the paycheck, really. And again, when the lights get bright, they don't show up. So the question is this team any different? We'll see versus Northwestern, but right now I'd probably say 7 wins. And again, that 7 wins would not be the big jump that Matt Rhule talked about. But Matt Rhule lied to us all offseason long. He lied to us about how good the offensive line would be and this, that, and third. So I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Rhule lied to us about potentially making the playoffs and making a big jump like he has. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm just really disappointed, really sad. This game's personal. It sucks to lose a rivalry game. They stormed the field on us. Again, Minnesota, they don't have many things to be excited about. We made their day. We made their year. We really did. And they're going to talk crap for a very long time. When's the next time we play Minnesota? I don't know. I don't know the next time we play Minnesota. They're going to make fun of us. We still haven't beat them in 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. It's embarrassing, man. So I'm one embarrassed Nebraska fan today. I know I'm going to get a lot of people in the comment section who I know every single time we lose, we're going to get USC fans in here. We're going to get Iowa fans in here. They're going to be talking crap. They're going to be calling Nebraska fans every single name in the book. I understand that's how it is. But again, I'm embarrassed. I apologize for buying the hype. I apologize for believing in Matt Rhule. I apologize for believing in this team. I'm not saying this team's screwed going forward like some content creators are going to do, but I'm telling you right now that this was supposed to be what changed under Matt Rhule. This could never happen again. Matt Rhule told us that we were going to win the games we should. And really that's the difference, In order for Nebraska, in my opinion, to have took the jump, it wasn't about winning the big games. That's irrelevant to me. Beating USC would have been nice. Beating, Michigan would have been nice. But in order for Nebraska to prove they're different, it would have been about winning the games you're supposed to win. Okay, we were supposed to win today. We didn't win. We were favored by 7. We're supposed to win versus Northwestern. We'll see if we get it done. That's what's different. That's what it should have been different, is that you're supposed to win the games you're supposed to do. Okay, and we didn't do that. So that falls on the coaching staff, that falls on the players. They clearly won't prepare for this game. They clearly don't care. They clearly don't have any passion. And once again, I'm just embarrassed, man. Just embarrassed. Again, the fans deserve better. Fans deserve better. The fans incredibly deserve better. So. But again, the silver lining's this. We won't have to hear about Matt Rhule going to Penn State anymore because Penn State fans are watching this game and they want nothing to do with him. Trust me on that one. They don't want anything to do with Matt Rhule. They're going to move on. They're going to hire somebody else, whether that's Manny Diaz or God knows who, man. But yeah, they're not going after Matt Rhule anymore. So again, it's incredibly disappointing for the bigger picture. Incredibly disappointing for the bigger picture. All right, I'm going to get to the super chats. I missed a lot of them. Again, if you want your comment read, instantly put in a super chat. We'll try to get back on in here. Christian starts us off. Well, Penn State won't want to roll now. Again, you're right, man. You're completely right. Raiola is wasting our money. He overthrew Dane. Yeah, again, he played awful. He was absolutely awful today. And we need to have that conversation. We can't sit here and bounce around the fact like Dillon was not good. He was not good at all. Penn State can have Rule and Walmart Mahomes and everyone else. I'm done with this sorry team. I mean, let's not do that. Let's not give up. That's what you're not going to hear me do. I told you guys I apologize. I apologize for believing a little bit. I apologize for sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit. But we're not going to give up after one loss. We're not going to do that, okay? I mean, yes, it was disappointing. Yes, it was frustrating. Yes, it was embarrassing. But there's still a lot to be excited about when it comes to the season. We could still go 10-2. You know, we could still make a decent bowl game. I think a lot of Nebraska fans would be happy with 9-3, right? So again, it just goes back to, are you different? You know, again, I'll tell you this right now. I might be a little bit calm right now, but if we lose Northwestern, I'll be very angry. I'll be very angry because again, that tells me that this coaching staff's just really, if you can't win this year, and this is my whole thing. If Nebraska can't win this year, when is it going to happen? Next year's schedule is not going to be easy, guys. We play Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, Iowa. We play some tough teams next year. If you can't take advantage of this advantageous schedule this year, what do you think is going to happen next year? We might not make a bowl game next year. It's going to be that tough of a schedule. Okay, we got gifted. We sit here and cry all the time about our schedule. This year we got gifted with a great opportunity, and we're squandering it right now. Matt Rhule's squandering it. So I'm not giving up necessarily. I'm not going to overreact after one loss, but man, I agree with you. It's disappointing. I agree, and this team is sorry. I'm not going to dispute that. This team is incredibly sorry, man. For them to put up 6 points on national television and get embarrassed in that fashion after all the critics had stuff to say about us all week, yeah, that's embarrassing, no question. Christian says we'll win 8. We forget that we're the youngest team in the Big Ten. Better days ahead. Here's the thing, Christian. Here's what I'll tell you though. Yes, we're the youngest team in the Big Ten, but who says those players are going to stay here? That's just college football nowadays. Players leave. And yeah, we're super young, but those young players might want to go elsewhere if they're not getting enough opportunities or not getting enough playing time. Like, we're going to have mass exodus. Even if we win 9 games this year, we're going to have mass exodus. That's just the way it goes. Okay, even if we win 9 games this year, we're going to have multiple DBs who leave. We're going to have multiple defensive linemen who leave. We're going to have multiple receivers who leave. That's college football. So we could sit here and say, oh, our potential is really high, and we have all these young guys. You're not wrong, but those guys might not be here next year. We don't know what this team's going to look like next year. We could have new players at every position. So it's completely irrelevant to me. As for winning 8, I agree we can absolutely win 8. I still think we can beat Northwestern. I think USC's probably lost at this point. If the defense couldn't stop if the defense couldn't stop Minnesota today, they're not going to stop USC. So I don't expect to beat USC, but yeah, I mean, we could absolutely beat UCLA still. We could still beat Iowa. I'm not circling Iowa as a win today because, I mean, Iowa's the exact same team as Minnesota. Iowa's no different than Minnesota. If anything, Iowa's a little bit better. How are we going to beat Iowa when we lost to Minnesota? I don't know. But I definitely could still see 8. I'm thinking maybe 7 right now. But once again, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to freak out completely and say, oh, the season's screwed, guys. We got to fire everybody. Like, no, we're not. No, we don't need to fire everybody. We don't. But again, it goes back to my original point, is that this team's not different than what it once was. This team's not different than last year. This team's not different than year 1 of Matt Rhule. There's a lot of things that we haven't got better at. I mean, let me ask you this right now. From where our offensive line was in year 1 of Matt Rhule and where our offensive line is now, has our offensive line got any better? Has our offensive line got any better at all? No. Has our defensive line got any better? No. We haven't had anything get better. Even quarterback play. You know, Casey Thompson was our quarterback when Matt Rhule got here. And then Matt Rhule said, hey, Casey, you're not going to be the starter anymore. We want to bring in Jeff Sims. Well, that was a terrible decision by Matt Rhule. I would argue that, you know, Casey Thompson might be a better quarterback than Dylan Raiola right now. So there's not many positions that have gotten better over the past 3 years when you look at it in hindsight. Now, granted, this team is better talent-wise, absolutely. But again, on game days, it's one thing to be talented. It's another thing to actually show it on game days. Minnesota might not be the most talented team in the world, but for whatever reason, they show it on game days. We're talented, supposedly. We hear all these breakout players all the time. Yeah, on game days, they play like crap, and they play like they've never touched a football field before. So, and also, I forgot, I wanted to mention this. What's with the inconsistency of this team, man? I knew this game was over after the first quarter. When we went into the second quarter up 3-0, I knew the game was over. You may ask, Wilson, how could you have known that so far in advance? Well, let's just look at our track record the last 3 games. We forget how to play football in the second and third quarter. We are the most inconsistent team in college football. The only thing consistent about this team is how inconsistent we truly are. We are inconsistent to our core. So our best quarters are the first and the fourth quarter. When we were only up 3-0 in the first quarter, you knew that it was going to go to crap pretty quickly, and that showed because Minnesota made adjustments, because that's what we do. We struggle when other teams make adjustments because we don't know how to make adjustments ourselves. Matt Rhule doesn't really know how to make adjustments. I mean, that's why we lose all our close games. John Butler, I mean, he's really not been a defensive coordinator too long. He doesn't really know how to make adjustments, right? So you knew when we were only up 3-0, we didn't have that big of a cushion. You knew that Minnesota would come storming back, and look at what happened, right? Look at what happened. So, yeah, that's kind of what I knew. Because again, this team is so inconsistent. They can't play well all four quarters. They can't put. It's one thing to not have a complete ball game. It's another thing to not even play like 50%, 40%. We don't even play good in any phase of the ball game. We've mastered the technique of an incomplete ball game. Here's what it is. Christian, thank you for the super chat. If you want, comment right instantly, put in a super chat. Also, guys, hit the like button on the stream. I know it was a loss, but again, if you enjoy the no BS takes, the honesty, hit that like button. And also, again, if you're somehow watching this, you're not subscribed, join this family. Best family in Husker YouTube, first off. Only place you can get daily contact with Huskers. This is the only channel, may I add, that's not going to BS you constantly. This is the only channel that's going to keep it real with you. That's going to point out the flaws. We like to be optimistic on this channel, but we're also going to be very real too. So okay, if you like that, if you like people who will tell you the truth, join this family, hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys again once again for the support. All right, Christian, to your comment, thank you for the super chat. He says, "You said it. We don't know what we'll look like next year. I don't know. I'm a big fan. I'm as big as a fan as anybody else. As fans, we need to remember it ain't 1995. You're right. But here's the thing, Christian. We're not asking for a national championship. All we're asking is for consistency. All we're asking is to not crap your pants on the national stage. It would have been one thing today. It would have been one thing today if we lost a close ball game. That would have obviously sucked, and I would still be very disappointed, very sad. But that's one thing. If we lost a close ball game, it is what it is. It happens. Today, we just look like, oh my goodness, we didn't look like we deserve to be on the same football field as Minnesota. And Minnesota's not a very good team. So again, what does that tell you about this coaching staff? What does that tell you about Matt Rhule? Because again, clearly that's a preparation issue. In my opinion, you either lose ball games against inferior teams or even Big Ten teams. You lose ball games because of one of two reasons. You lose ball games because you're not talented enough, or you lose ball games because you're not coached well enough. Well, Nebraska was talented enough today. We lost the Michigan game probably because we weren't talented enough. But we lost today because we're not coached well enough. Okay, the offensive lines didn't play well, but they have talent. I think they have talent. Elijah Pritchett's talented, supposedly he's talented. Gunnar Gattuso supposedly he's talented, but we're not coached well enough. And we're not disciplined enough. We have way too many penalties. And once again, when the game gets tight, or when we go into halftime, it's 6-7, we don't make adjustments. We never make adjustments. This team doesn't know how to make adjustments. It says a lot to me too. I didn't want to mention this because it would have came off like negative, But let's remember the fact that we were playing Maryland last week. We played Maryland last week. We were only up 7 points at halftime. We played pretty bad versus Maryland, right? And we went to halftime, and Matt Rhule said he didn't even give a speech to the team. He didn't say anything to the team. Jacory Barney gave the speech to the team. I'm all for the players being leaders. But it says a lot when you're playing a garbage ball game and Matt Rhule refused to even give a speech to the team. And yet he's talking crap when we're playing Akron. Like, Matt Rhule, if you're going to be feisty versus Akron and demand perfection when we're playing Akron, let's be feisty versus Minnesota. Let's be feisty versus Minnesota. How can you sit here at halftime and say, oh, the standard's the standard versus Akron? They don't respect you enough. You're supposed to win 100-0. Trust me, I like that message. Don't get me wrong. But have that same mindset versus Minnesota. Where is that mindset now? Where's the killer instinct now, Matt Rhule? Where's it at? Where's it at, man? We just got to hold people accountable. That's what it is. That's what it is. We got to hold people accountable. And again, I'm tired of it. This team had no passion today. Matt Rhule had no passion today. And it just leads me to believe that we were focused on the outside narratives all week long. We were scared. We were scared of being ranked. We were scared of the big moment. We were scared of the all-white uniforms. We were scared of the Matt Rhule rumors. So we were focused on things that really didn't matter in the long run, guys. We were focused on things that didn't really matter besides the actual ball game. So it is what it is. All right, get into the comment section here. We have a lot of comments. I'm sifting through them to find some good ones. Again, if you want to comment right instantly, put in super chats. Oh, we got an Iowa fan. Oh, here. I told you guys we get some Iowa fans. Hey, Iowa fan, get out of here. Get out of here. Hey, Iowa fan, remind me, buddy, what'd you do versus Iowa State earlier this season? Remind me of that ball game. Yeah, remind me what your record is right now. Yeah. Remind me who your quarterback is right now. Listen, I'm all for teams talking crap about Nebraska. We played terrible today. But don't come in here if you got a worse team than us. I would get a worse team than us right now. Or I shouldn't say right now. They're probably on the same level. But you got exposed versus Iowa State. Don't come in here talking about us. You got a lot of problems yourself right here. A lot of problems. Minnesota's a pretty good team, I'd say. How would you say that? What has Minnesota proved you besides today that they're a good team? Again, I'm all for giving our opponents credit when credit is due. I'm all for that. But what has Minnesota showed you this season that they're a good team? I've watched Minnesota this season. I've watched them all year long. I watched them when they barely beat Buffalo to begin the season. They should have probably lost versus Buffalo. I watched that game. I watched last week when they needed a pick six in the fourth quarter to barely beat Purdue. I watched when they played Cal at a 9:30 kickoff on a Saturday night and lost, and it wasn't close. I watched them when they got absolutely obliterated by Ohio State. So what about Minnesota's a good team? Yeah, they played great today, but my question to you, did Minnesota play good today because they're a good team, or did they play well because we're a bad team? I think it's a little bit of both, but mostly it's because we're a bad team. That's mostly what it is. Again, I'll give credit where credit's due. Minnesota is very well coached. PJ Fleck has our number. I mean, it feels like PJ Fleck. I think PJ Fleck might have like a snitch inside the building or something, a leaker who's leaking him the playbook every year. Because PJ Fleck, he looks like Tom Osborne every single time he plays. He looks like Nick Saban. Like PJ Fleck, I don't know. He has some down his sleeve every single time. But for whatever reason, he beats us. So again, we lost today because they wanted to be there. They played up to their standard. They were more disciplined. They dominated the trenches, and they didn't make mistakes. That's as simple as it gets. We sit here all the time, and we act like football is this very complicated game. We need chunk plays all the time. We need these big plays. Like, no. Football is often determined by the team who just makes the least mistakes, who has less penalties, less turnovers, and can win in the simple things, the offensive line, the defensive line. And we didn't show that today. All right, again, we got a super chat that comes in. Again, if you guys want to comment, instantly put a super chat. Damien, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you, Damien. Damien, he says, I need some hope, Wilson. Well, I mean, here's your hope. We're still 5-2. We still objectively have a pretty easy schedule going forward. We play Northwestern at home, and Northwestern's probably gonna be 5-2 as well. But still, I mean, it's Northwestern, right? Penn State is crumbling. Iowa, it's gonna be a tough ball game. We know it's gonna be tough. It's family business, but Iowa's not the team they used to be. UCLA, they're recovering what's left of their broken season, but UCLA, still we should probably win that ball game, maybe. So again, here's the hope. We still have 5 games in front of us. We still are going to make a bowl game, more likely than not. We're out of playoff talks, obviously, but if you really thought we were going to make the playoffs, I mean, maybe you're delusional. Including myself, I might be a little bit delusional. So again, there's still a lot of optimism. I'm not on the boat that, we should just give up on the year. Give up everything. We should just fire everybody. Disband the program. We lost to Minnesota. We lost 1 game, guys. It's over. Show's over. Get rid of the season. We're 5-2. We're not going to do that here. Again, was it embarrassing today? It absolutely was. I'm not sugarcoating it. It was embarrassing. But again, we still have 5 games left. We're still 5-2. And I told you guys what needs to be proven is whether or not this team's different. Is this team different from last year? Is this team different from year 1, year 2 of Matt Rule? Or are they the exact same? Will they crumble? I don't know. We'll get that answer versus Northwestern. But I'll tell you this. As for the players, it's proven to me that we have one of the best running backs in America in Emmett Johnson. It's proven to me that we at times have a decent defense who can get to the quarterback. That wasn't the case today. We have great special teams that very much improved. We have Dylan, who's hot at times, cold at others, but Dylan's shown the ability to win some close games. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain about everything. I mean, obviously I'm going to complain about this game, but yeah. Lateef, we're not doing that. We're not. Again, here's my thing about Lateef. Here's my thing. I don't think you guys understand what you're asking for when you say you want Lateef. Lateef is a very talented quarterback. Lateef might be able to win us some ball games. I'm not disputing that. But Lateef is young. Why do you want to throw Lateef into the fire? I think if you throw out Lateef next week or the week after that versus USC, you're doing his career a disservice. You are. Because you're throwing TJ Lateef in front of an offensive line that can't block for him, wide receivers that can't get open, an offensive coordinator that consistently has not been consistent. So TJ might give us a different ability on this offense. Of course, he's mobile. He's a nice arm, and he makes some game-changing plays, right? Like, I'm not disputing any of that when it comes to TJ. But suddenly, if you put him out there with this offensive line, you're going to change his tendencies, okay? And you're going to ruin him. That's how you ruin quarterbacks in the NFL, okay? For example, Justin Fields, when he got to the Bears. Justin Fields is a very talented quarterback. But Justin Fields, he's a pass-first quarterback at heart, and yet he got to the Bears. He had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and he developed the skill of being a running quarterback where he has no pocket presence. He bails even when the pocket's clean, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks now in the NFL. Not because he's terrible at heart, but because he was developed a terrible way. So again, you don't want to throw quarterbacks in the fire very early on because they're going to develop bad tendencies, and they're going to be a shell themselves. So again, Lateef might be fine, but you're doing him a disservice if you throw him out there. Because TJ is going to he's going to have PTSD, bro. He's going to have PTSD. That's what it is. He's going to be tackled on the first snap. He's got PTSD, and you might get him injured too. We don't want to do that. We don't want to ruin that. Okay. I want to ride this season out with Dylan. And if Dylan continues to play like this, we can move on from Dylan. We can. He can enter the portal, and we can roll TJ next year. We can do that, but we got to give Dylan the opportunity to right the ship. Okay, we got to. And Dylan played bad today. He wasn't the number one reason we lost. It was a complete failure. But listen, again, we're not going to bench him. No, we have to ride this ship, see if he can fix it. If he continues to be terrible and he continues to slide, we might have to move on from him. If we don't move on from him, it tells me that Matt Rule does not have any stones as a head coach and can't make the hard decisions. That's my thing about Matt Rule, is that, frankly, he has not shown the ability to make those tough decisions. He never benched Jeff Sims. People forget that. Jeff Sims, the only reason he didn't play was because he got injured. Okay, he kind of gave Matt Rule an out. But if Jeff Sims stayed healthy, he probably would have played the entire season. Matt Rule has not shown the ability to bench quarterbacks. So Dylan definitely not going to be benched this year. I'm not calling for him to be benched this year. But again, even if Dylan is terrible for the rest of the season, Dylan's probably going to be your guy next year even. And also, I should mention this. Dylan and Matt Rule are literally best friends. Like, they hang out outside of practice. It's a little bit weird even. It's a little bit weird. Like, Matt Rule's like 50. He's hanging out with a 19-year-old. Like, they're best buds. It's kind of odd. Do you really think that Matt Rule, who refused to fire Marcus Satterfield, Ed Foley, his best friends, will bench Dylan Raiola, also one of his best friends? And also should be mentioned that Matt Rule always hypes up Dylan even when there's some clear flaws. Like, no. So that's my thing about Matt, is that I don't think Matt can make some tough decisions at times. That's just me being honest with you. So, Chad, thank you for the super chat. You guys want to comment right instantly, put in the super chat. Chad, thank you, my man. Hope you're having a great night. My man, Chad, he says, I think a huge problem is Holgorsen uses the run to open up the passing attack 100%. That's exactly what happens, Chad. Is again, we'll start off a drive and it'll look great like we did the first drive of the second half. We were, it was 6-7, right? We used Emmett. We went all the way down the field to the 40-yard line, and we're like, oh, now they're going to expect a run play. We're going to go back to the air. We're going to go back to Dylan. Well, that can't really happen when you don't have an offensive line that can protect. You don't have a quarterback who consistently make that nice throw over the middle. And also, frankly, you don't have a coordinator who can dial up the right play calls in the right times. So I agree. Again, he tries to use the run to open up the pass because that's his bread and butter. I told you guys all offseason. In Dana's heart, he wants to pass. Dana's not a run guy. He doesn't want to run. He just doesn't. Okay, he's never done that. He didn't do that at Houston. He didn't do that at West Virginia. He's not an air raid coordinator, but he's very close to it, right? He's from the Leach coaching tree. So listen, you're completely right. And again, the passing attack just isn't working. It's pretty evident when you don't have a quarterback, you don't have an offensive line who can block for him. And again, Dylan has his moments, but Dylan takes too many sacks. That's the big problem. I don't think Rule is lying in the press conferences. I think he's just naive. I agree. I do think Rule is a little bit naive. I do. Again, for better or worse, this is just me. I believe that Matt Rule in his heart of hearts believed that Jeff Sims would be an All-American. I think that. I really do. I think Matt Rule believed that Jeff Sims would be an All-American. I think that Matt Rule thinks a lot of things about the players on his team. And again, sometimes you can get blinded by what happens in practice. We have some good practice players all the time. Like, there are some dudes who are balling out of practice. Like, I'll throw out names. Malcolm Hartzog has great practices all the time. Malcolm Hartzog's a bad player. Here's this. He's been bad forever here. Marcus Buford's a great practice player. Doesn't show up on game day. So there's a lot of practice players who play well against the walk-ons in Lincoln. But, when it comes to game day, they're nothing, right? So I do think Matt Rule's a little bit naive at times. But again, it was the same deal with Scott. Like, Scott was super naive. Scott Frost thought Adrian Martinez was the next coming of Jesus Christ. Scott Frost thought that he thought a lot of things. So I do think, but I also think he's lying a little bit. Like, I truly believe, I have enough confidence in Matt Rule that I think Matt Rule believed in his heart of hearts the defensive line would be a struggle this year. So I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that Matt Rule lied to us about that instead of be hell on wheels. Like, just don't lie to us about the basics, man. Just don't. I'm not asking you to be doom and gloom, Matt, but I want you to keep it real with us. Like, that's just what I want. I want you to keep it real. You know, that's all I want. Rocco Spindler's in the hospital. Is that true? Is that true that Rocco Spindler's in the hospital? I'm going to look that up real quick. I know. So Rocco Spindler, he left the game like the first drive of the ball game, and that's really why the offensive line collapsed. I'm going to check that out real quick. Dude, I saw a Minnesota player. He said, a Minnesota player on Twitter said Emmett Johnson to hit the weight room. That's crazy. I'm going to look up if Rocco Spindler's in the hospital. I actually need to see this because that's not good. That's not good. Hold on. Rocco Spindler. Yeah, he's in the hospital for a hand injury. Yeah, that's terrible. Yep. That's awful, guys. So, yep. Okay, he has a huge cast on his arm. Rocco Spindler's probably out for the year, guys. Rocco Spindler's probably out for the year. Yeah, that's awful, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to help this offensive line that looked terrible today without him. Rocco was our best offensive lineman all year. So now that Rocco's probably out for the season, that's not any good, man. It's not good at all. Again, we don't have any like good bench players on the offensive line. Like, who's going to step up? Do you really think Prohaska is going to step up? Do you really think that? Do you really think Corcoran's going to step up? Do you really think President Demoa or Grant Bricks? We just have a bunch of bums on this offensive line who have maybe some talent, maybe some stars next to their name when they were, when they were out of high school, but we don't have an offensive line coach who can develop him. So, but once again, like I've told you guys, Donovan Raiola will never be fired here as long as Dylan Raiola is in Lincoln, because that Raiola family has more connections than you know. They do. They have connections everywhere. And the second Donovan Raiola is demoted or fired or anything, Dylan's gone. And honestly, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world, but also there's going to be some boosters who might be out. There's some boosters who love Dylan. I mean, it impacts more than what you know. I mean, there's a lot of things it impacts. It might impact Adidas. Adidas sponsors Dylan Raiola. If you suddenly cut ties with Dylan goes, you have some issues with Adidas, right? I mean, there's just a million things going on over there. Again, there is a Raiola deep state. This is what happens when you have a quarterback whose dad played here, was a legend here. It's tough to get rid of them. It's tough to get rid of that family, right? And I'm not calling for Dylan to go, but I'm starting to call for Donovan to go for sure. For sure. I mean, just hire the best coach money can buy. I don't think that's that hard. Just hire the best coach money can buy. We got money. Money's not an issue. Money. Money's not an issue. Money's not an issue, man. Money is not an issue. Okay, I want to see if Twitter said anything funny. I'm sure there's a lot of overreactions on Twitter here. I'm sure there's some funny stuff. No, there's nothing. Matt Rule said nothing in his press conference. People are memeing Matt Rule, though. People are absolutely memeing him right now. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, it's just deja vu all over again, guys. That's what it is. Oh, here we go. We got another fan. Nebraska fans are delusional. If you can't see the offensive line is trash, whenever they go against competition, they fold. I think every Nebraska fan understands this offensive line is not very good. So I don't know who you're talking to, Sean. We're not naive here. We understand the offensive line's a struggle. We understand that's one of the worst, not only offensive lines of the Big Ten, but in the country. We're having that conversation right now. Okay, so get out of here with that comment because that comment's not true at all. Let Matt Rule go. Again, that's an overreaction. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. How can you sit here and tell me that Matt Rule shouldn't go after one loss? Are you crazy? Oh, Matt Rule should go. Matt Rule's terrible. Are you stupid? Who's going to replace him? Wise guy. Who's going to come out of and coach us? Is it going to be Dana Holgerson? Are we going to find Kirk Cinetti? Like Kirk Cinetti's not going anywhere. Who are we going to hire? James Franklin? Like, we just got to fire Matt Rule after one loss. Like, come on. It's pathetic. I mean, seriously. Like, no. We are 5-2 for crying out loud. Yes, this game was terrible. Matt Rule should be held responsible, but we got to fire him after one loss. Really? Come on, get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that. That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, man. Would you rather have Bo back? No, Bo's never coming back. Why does that come up every time? Bo is never coming back. Bo will never step foot in Nebraska ever again. He hates it here. I don't hate him, but, And also, Bo has never coached in the new era of college football with NIL. So how can you sit here and be like, oh, Bo need to come back? Like, Bo doesn't know how to handle this new college football. He doesn't know anything about it. So, no. Bo should not come back. John Gruden or Zach Taylor? No. John Gruden doesn't know how to recruit. Zach Taylor should be fired probably, at Cincinnati. What has to happen for Donovan to be fired? I think you just need to accept that Dylan's gone. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Seriously, are you willing to make that sacrifice, David? And also shout out my guy David, one of the best Omaha YouTubers. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? If Donovan gets fired, are you okay with Dylan leaving? And I understand Dylan had a bad day today, but are you completely going to give up on the 5-star quarterback that all of us believed would be one of the best quarterbacks maybe ever here? We all thought that at some point. Are you going to give up on him? Really? That's my question. Because again, if you want him gone, you also want Dylan gone. But again, but we don't even have to dance around it. Donnie's going to stay. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. Donnie's staying. He is. Matt Rhule does not fire his best friends. Matt Rhule doesn't fire anybody. Matt Rhule has never fired a coach since he's been here. Okay. Matt Rhule has not fired a coach since he's been here. Margaret Satterfield is not fired. Ed Foley was not fired. And you're asking to fire a guy who's almost unfireable. And you're asking for Matt Rhule to give up on Dylan Raiola. It doesn't matter if you want to give up on Dylan Raiola. You can say that. I'm not going to dispute that. You can have your opinions. But I'll tell you this, Matt Rhule will never give up on Dylan Raiola. He never will. He loves Dylan. He literally treats him like a son. So for better or worse, even if I believe this in my heart, even if Dylan throws 10 interceptions against Northwestern, he will never be benched because he loves him that much. He loves him that much. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So that's my thing. Osborne still kicking, throw him in. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, here we go. We got a hate comment here. Rich, he says, "Oh, okay, call me names. I see it, bum. All right, we'll call him back here. You're the problem. Prior to the game, you were talking about a path to the playoff. This team is full of cast-offs from other teams. That's why they're in the portal. Hey, that's how the portal works, idiot. Good players leave. Okay, there are a bunch of good players every single year who go elsewhere. There aren't cast-offs. There are good players who leave. That's just how it goes. Okay, so having portal players doesn't necessarily mean your team's bad. Are you naive? Do you not understand how college football works, Rich? As for me talking about the path to the playoff, yeah, I was talking about path to the playoff, and I told you guys I don't think we can make the playoffs because we're good enough. I told you guys this schedule is advantageous enough to make the playoffs. So, Rich, I'm not the problem. You're the problem, and you're a nobody. So get out of here talking crap, man. You can go wallow in your sorrows and cry and call for coaches to get fired or whatever, but don't come my chat because I'm going to respond to you. I'm definitely going to respond to you. I don't hide from that. I'm here every single day. Other YouTubers will hide from that. I'll sit here and address it. I'm here every day. I can't hide. You can go hide. You can go hide and go wherever you want. I'm here every single day on the channel. I bring you daily content and I keep it honest. Other people will lie to you. I keep it honest. So I'm not hiding away from it. Chad, thank you for the super chat, my man. If you guys want to comment, instantly put in a super chat. My man, Chad, he says, fire Matt Rhule. What dummies are saying that Rhule is one of the good offensive line. Rhule is one good offensive line coach away from fans calling him a genius. Fans called him a genius this week when Penn State wanted him, right? So, and that was my whole point throughout the week is that, yeah, it's nice that Penn State wanted him, but we should not forget the fact that Matt Rhule still hasn't proved much as Nebraska's head coach. I don't necessarily agree with that, though. Yeah, obviously we need a new offensive line coach, but we need to new everything. We need a new defensive line coach. Our defensive line did not play much better than our offensive line. Our D-line got dominated today against one of the worst offensive lines in the Big Ten. So our D-line's not very good. Dana has not been good this year. What's Da'Keil Shorts done this year? Not much. What's E.J. Barthel done this year? Emmett looks good. What about the rest of the bunch? The whole staff's not very good. At least as of right now, man. So I want to make this very clear. I'm not calling for coaches to be fired right now. Again, I'll rewatch the game and we'll talk about that in the video maybe this week. Coaches who need to go or coaches on the hot seat, but we're more than one offensive line coach away. I'll put it at that. It was an all-out failure today, man. It was an all-out failure today. This loss wasn't on Dylan whatsoever. It's not having an offensive line to block and inconsistent play calling. I'm so lost on why everybody wants fired and Dylan benched. Again, I'll make it very clear with you. I don't want Dylan benched. I've said that throughout the live stream, but at the exact same time, I think it's naive to say that Dylan Raiola was an issue today. Dylan, yes, the offensive line didn't give him much time, but part of the reasons we gave up 9 sacks is because Dylan refused to throw the ball away. And Dylan was trying to be a superhero all the time. And Dylan overthrows every single deep ball that he has. And Dylan has no vision whatsoever and can't find open men down the field. So again, I'm not saying Dylan was the number one issue. Again, it was an all-out failure. Everybody failed. Everybody failed. But you're naive if you're going to sit here and say, oh, this loss wasn't on Dylan. Like, it was on everybody, including Dylan. It was on Dylan, the wide receivers, the O-line, the coaches, the D-line, the secondary. It was on everybody. The only guy it wasn't on was on Emmett Johnson and Archie Wilson. Those guys showed up today. Braden was a terrible hire. I agree with you. 100% agree. Terry Braden, he can't recruit, so you think he's a good developer. Well, he can't develop either, clearly. Because nobody's gotten better on this defensive line besides Williams Nwaneri, who was a 5-star. Like, we expected Nwaneri to be good. But Keona Davis has not got any better. Cam Lenhart hasn't got any better. Nobody's got better. Van Poppel's a nobody. Van Poppel's terrible, man. Yeah, Terry Braden really is disappointing. And I was calling him out in the offseason, man. I was not happy with Braden because, again, if you can't recruit as a defensive line coach, you can't do much. You can't do much. You can't do much, man. You can't do much. Lateef transfer. Lateef's not transferring, I'll tell you that. The only way Lateef will transfer is if some team from home is calling him. And I'm talking UCLA or USC. But again, I talked with his dad. I'll just tell you, I talked to his dad like 3 or 4 weeks ago when he balled out versus Akron, and everybody was asking me, "Oh, is TJ going to transfer?" Me and his dad have been talking since he committed to Nebraska for about a year now, and we talk every now and then. We don't talk all the time, but he called me out of the blue. I was in like finance class or whatever, and I said, "Hey, I'll call you back when I'm out of finance class." I called him outside my university. I'm calling TJ Lateef's dad, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he was telling me about how he watched my video about, TJ maybe leaving if, he gets an opportunity. And he said, "Hey, Wilson, love your content." And TJ's whole family watches my channel. And he said, TJ is not going to leave because, number one, he's incredibly loyal, not only to Nebraska. People forget that, he may have decommitted from Nebraska. That was a rumor last year, and he ended up committing to Nebraska, and he stayed with Nebraska. He never decommitted, but despite the rumors. People forget that he was at Orange Lutheran. He could have transferred to Mater Dei. He could transfer to Sierra Canyon, and he stayed there at Orange Lutheran and made him a beast. So TJ Lateef's loyal. He loves his culture here. He has a lot of really good friends on his team. He's like best friends with Cortez, Mills, Isaiah Mozee, a couple of those other guys. Yeah, TJ's not leaving unless he gets an opportunity to go back home. And then you never know. You never know, man. You never know. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but again, I'm not betting on it. I'm not betting on it. But again, shout out to all the parents who watch my stuff. There are a lot of parents who watch my stuff, a lot of players who watch my stuff, who I communicate with, and again, it's always respectful. Those guys always. I try to have a good relationship with everybody who supports me, and I support them back. Byfield Racing, my man Byfield Racing, thanks for the super chat. He says, "I'm going to be realistic. This season is going to end with us going 5-7 and Ohio State winning another natty." Again, Racing, I think you're just a little bit too emotional. I think sleep on this. Maybe might take 2 sleeps, might take 3. You might wake up, on Monday or Tuesday and feel a little bit different. Again, the season's not over after this loss. It just isn't. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's a lot of positives because there aren't. Like, we'll keep it honest. But again, we still have 5 games left, and we still have a lot of optimism going forward. Okay, there's still some things to look forward to. So. Lateef holding his Lateef holding his breath on the sideline, hoping Dylan doesn't go down because it doesn't want to die back there. That's my point. Like, if I'm TJ, I don't even want to go out there. I don't want TJ to play because I don't want to ruin him. Again, here's what I want from TJ. Here's my plan for TJ. I want TJ to wait his time. I want Dylan to ride out the rest of the season, and if Dylan's not the guy, it's not the guy. I want TJ to hustle in silence, continue to improve, and then TJ could be our starting quarterback next year. That's what I want from TJ. I do not want TJ to play now. I don't, because I do not want to ruin him. That's just what it is. I'm not disputing the fact that maybe TJ could win us some ball games and that he could give us a little bit something different, but I don't want him to play a snap. I don't want packages for TJ. I don't want red zone touches for TJ. I want none of that. I want TJ to sit on the sideline, learn, and wait his time. Because if you suddenly make him only a running quarterback, or you put him in for packages, or you start him, again, you will ruin him. You will create bad tendencies in him. He will bail the pocket way too early. He will become scared, and he will not be the quarterback that he's supposed to be. We've seen this so many times in college football. We've seen this so many times in the NFL. Okay, so again, the Lateef loyalists are everywhere. I get it, but again, he can't start. Corby, my man Corby, he says, as a podcaster, how do you stay motivated to do this? As a fan, I'm exhausted by this process. It's embarrassing. I mean, I love this team, man. That's what it is. I love this team. Again, it's only one loss. I'll wake up tomorrow and life goes on, and it doesn't change my love for this team. I'm disappointed with this team. I'm sad about this team, but it doesn't change anything, And I also remind myself that I've dealt with worse. I mean, last year was worse. Year one was worse. So again, it is what it is. I mean, it's tough to make daily content. Trust me. I mean, that's harder. It's hard to roll out of bed and make a video about the Northwestern game and the team's not looking too good. But still, I try to bring passion to you guys. I try to bring no BS. Try to be honest. I'm optimistic at heart. You guys know that, but I'm not going to change my work ethic regardless of what's going on with the team. We could go 0-12 or 12-0. I'm still going to bring you guys good content. That's what it is. That's what the mission is. There's other YouTubers who'll sit here and make one video a week, and then they'll go MIA from July, or excuse me, from January to August. Like there are Nebraska YouTubers who are gone for the majority of the year during the off season. That's not what we do on the channel. We bring you daily content. We talk this team regardless, because we love this team. And you have to understand that Nebraska football goes on every month of the year. It's not just during the season. It's recruiting. It's spring ball. It's summer ball. It's everything. Okay, Husker football is a lifestyle and it's 24/7. And that's why we've had success on this channel, is that we bring that every single day, regardless of if the season's here or the season's not here. Okay, so I love this. I love this team. That's what it is. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't do it if I love this team, man. I love this team. If I didn't love this team, there are some Nebraska fans who troll me and say, "Oh, you're an Iowa fan because you're negative at times." Like, nah. If I was an Iowa fan, I'll tell you this: I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this channel. I love this team more than anybody. I mean, I love it. You guys love this team. I love this team. So that's why we have this community here. This community on Husker YouTube is full of fans who love this team, regardless what month it is, regardless if this team's losing or winning. Trust me, we're all disappointed today. We're all disappointed, but we're disappointed because we care. We're disappointed because we love this university. We want to have this university succeed. That's why we're disappointed. We're not disappointed because we hate it. So that's my response there. But again, I'll wake up tomorrow and life goes on. I'll enjoy college football and we'll continue to make content and we'll move on with our lives, and we'll get ready for the Northwestern game. Where does Nebraska go from here? I don't think it'd be unrealistic to give Lateef some snaps. Again, Lateef will never get snaps. It's not even worth discussing. It's not that Lateef maybe wouldn't give us a decent opportunity, but again, why would Rule will never put in Lateef because he loves Dylan so much. So again, it's not even worth discussing at all. It's just never gonna happen. Oh, I was waiting for this guy. I was waiting for Penn State Sports Talk. Where you at, buddy? You were in my live stream when we lost to Michigan, talking recklessly. You were talking recklessly. You were talking crap every single day of the week. That was a short 4 weeks ago, bud. How are you doing now, bud? Remind me what your record is, Penn State Sports Talk. If there's anybody who's doing worse than Nebraska right now, it's you, bum. It's you. So I'm honestly, I'm proud of you though. I'm not even going to come at you. I'm proud of you for coming back from the live stream. You could have hid. You could have been embarrassed. You could have rolled up in your ball and said, I'm never going back to WilsonDittman Sports, but you came back. Hey, I appreciate that. You didn't hide. But man, you cannot come in here talk about Matt Rule, Nebraska this, Nebraska that. You are the embarrassment. You are the biggest embarrassment in college football right now. And you know who your next head coach is going to be? Bill O'Brien or Manny Diaz. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun with Manny Diaz. Because you're not getting anybody good. I don't know who you think you're going to get. You're not getting Urban Meyer. You're not getting Lane Kiffin. You're not getting anybody good. You're going to go through all your list of coaches. Oh, here's my number one option. Here's my number two option. And you're gonna get to November and nobody wants you. And everybody's saying no to Penn State. You're like, oh well, what's my eighth option? Oh, I gotta hire Bill O'Brien. Well, I guess Bill O'Brien's making a return to Penn State. That's what you're gonna do, bud. That's what you're gonna do. So have fun. Your team's a joke. Your team's a way bigger joke than we are. So, but I can appreciate you coming back in here. Appreciate you. And trust me, Matt Rule's a better coach. Matt Rule lost today, but Matt Rule's a better coach than whoever you're gonna have. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one, man. Can we talk about why Barney's not getting the ball? Yeah, again, it's partly he's not getting open, but also Dylan Raiola, his vision's not great. And also, I just don't think Dana has a game plan to get Jacory involved. That was the thing. That was the only positive about Satterfield. Is say what you want about Satterfield, but Satterfield could get Jacory the football. I mean, that's really what it was. He could get Jacory the football. That's not the case with Dana. So Do you think Trey Taylor's going to commit? Thank you, DBI, for the super chat. You guys want to come and instantly put in a super chat. Yeah, again, Trey Taylor's not leaving. I talk with Trey Taylor. I shouldn't say on a regular basis, but we chat every now and then. He'll text me about something. He watches my videos, or his dad will text me about whatever, and I'll respond to him. And again, Trey's locked in. Trey is not committed here because he wants to be a national championship, guy. He would love that, but Trey's committed here because he loves the culture here. He knows he can compete right away, and he loves Matt Rule. So again, Trey's not leaving. Nor is Torrey Pittman, nor is any of our commits. Nobody's decommitted. Especially after one loss. Like, we only lost one game, guys. Come on. Let's be real. PJ Fleck is her father. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll be the first to admit it, man. I'll be the first to admit it. Will USC be a night game? It's tough. I mean, this throws a wrench in everything, losing now, but it's either going to be 11 o'clock or 6:30. Now, the issue with that game is that Fox gets the first pick out of all the Big Ten games, and they were going to pick, Penn State, Ohio State as their premier 11 o'clock game, but they might now pick USC, Nebraska. So we'll see. I want that game to be 6:30 still. It's a blackout game. It's a night game. That's how you get a home field advantage. You play a night game, okay? So I want to play a night game, but we'll see. It really just depends on if Fox picks it or not. And Fox gets the opportunity. So Fox will decide pretty much everything for us. Fox will decide everything. Huskers suck. Anything different? I mean, it's not surprising, right? I told you guys at the start of the stream, I said, I think real Nebraska fans, no real Nebraska fan is like incredibly surprised by this result. I think we're all really disappointed by this result. But again, we've seen this so many times. We've seen this so many times with Matt Rule or whatever coach or anybody. This isn't shocking. This isn't shocking to literally anybody if you follow this program consistently. So, my guy Jonathan with a super chat. You guys want to comment right? Instantly put in super chat. Jonathan, my good buddy from high school. Jonathan, I hope you're doing well, my man. Hope you're succeeding. Got a lot of love for you, my man. Jonathan, he is a Longhorns fan. He said go Longhorns. Sorry, Ali. Jonathan, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Hope you're having fun at UNO, man. You're my guy. Again. Keep in contact, dude. I hope you're doing well for sure. Ernie, my man Ernie, he says, "Hey Wilson, on the bright side, Dylan's bro Dayton won 75-0 tonight, and they're 8-0. Hey, Dayton might be the future. You never know, guys. You never know. We've seen some crazy things here. Hey, and Trey Taylor won. Trey Taylor played one of the best high schools in Illinois today. I think he won like 45-20 or something. So Trey Taylor won as well. So, we got a Minnesota fan in here. JK says, "Ski you ma." Hey man. I'll be the first to congratulate you. I'm not going to be a toxic fan. Congrats to Minnesota. Minnesota, you played better than us today. You outcoached us today. You were ready for the big moment today. Credit where credit is due. Minnesota played very well. I got nothing but love for Minnesota. I don't like you guys very much. I consider you guys a rival. You guys have had our number. But congrats, Minnesota. Got a lot of love for you guys. Again, you guys got a good culture over there that's committed to the team and committed to PJ Fleck. And you guys got a little bit of a tough schedule up here, but good luck to Minnesota and congrats on the victory because again, you earned it, you deserved it. So I'm not gonna shy away from that. I'm definitely gonna give you your love when you deserve it. Remember the O-line cost. Hey Wilson, remember the O-line cost to all of the Gophers D? Yeah, I mean I think you're talking about NIL. I think you're talking about NIL. Yeah, our offensive line's worth like what, $4-5 million. Yeah, and they dominated us. They dominated us, man. Yep, you're right. I mean, again, you're not right. Are there any Nebraska thing portal? What? I shouldn't have even responded to that. People talking playoffs earlier in the week. Again, we should talk playoffs. Again, I never told you guys that we were a good enough team to make the playoffs. I told you guys we should talk about the playoffs because of the fact that we have that advantage of a schedule to make it there. Okay. That's why we could have made the playoffs, because our schedule objectively is easy. We should have beat Minnesota today. We should have beat, Northwestern down the line, right? So that's why we were talking playoffs. And I think it's worthy being discussed. So it is disappointing. And in my heart of hearts, I never thought Nebraska was actually going to make the playoffs, but I would have rather us had that opportunity, at the end of the season, rather than have it, completely out of the equation going into, our 8th game, right? So it is what it is. Worst offensive line we've had since when? I don't know. We've had some bad offensive lines, man. I don't think it's, all the Frost O-lines were bad. This one's just, it's in the mix with the rest of them. They're all terrible. They're all bad, man. Trust me. Fleck is a better coach who does more with less every year. You're totally right. You're totally right. I will say that I don't think PJ Fleck will ever leave Minnesota, though. And I think that's a good thing for him. I think he's a loyal coach. Again, I respect PJ a lot. I really believe he's a good coach. I really do. And his culture is top notch. Top notch. And he's a great game planner. Daniel, my man Daniel with the super chat. You guys want to comment right instantly, put in super chat. Daniel, good to hear from you, my man. Daniel, he says, I just got here. Once again, we got our hopes up just to lose another game we should have won. Dylan played his tail off and got zero help from anybody else. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think Dylan played very well. He took way too many sacks. The deep ball actually was suspect. He missed wide open receivers a lot. We couldn't move the football. He put up only 6 points. So again, there were a million mistakes everywhere. Again, I'm not blaming 100% on Dylan, but I don't think Dylan played a very good ball game. I'll put it at that. I don't think Dylan at all played well. So that's what I'll say. Minnesota owns Nebraska. You're right, and the disappointing thing is that we don't really have an opportunity to beat them. I mean, I don't believe we play Minnesota for the next couple of years. I mean, let me look up our future schedule here real quick. Let me look up our future schedule. Because, again, I don't think we have an opportunity to beat Minnesota for a while. We don't play Minnesota next year. In 2027, okay, we do play Minnesota at home. So we have 2 more years to sit on this loss and have them talk crap about us until we get another opportunity. You know, we don't know what Nebraska is even going to look like in 2027. So that's what's disappointing. At this point, what do you think our final season win total will be? Yeah, I'm thinking 7. This is probably the first time. This is definitely the first time all year that I've changed my opinion on this. I told you guys throughout the year I'm thinking 9. Even when we lost to Michigan, I told you guys I'm still thinking 9. I'm thinking probably 7 right now. I think we'll probably still beat Northwestern. Northwestern's not a very good team. We play home. We're going to lose against USC. You know, we'll probably lose against Penn State. I think we'll lose against Iowa at this rate. If you play like this versus Minnesota, what do you think is going to happen against a way better team in Iowa? Like, Iowa's probably going to beat us too. So I could see us go 7-5 and beat Northwestern and UCLA. But again, we could still win 9 games. I do believe we could still win 9 games. So but it is what it is. I'll tell you this though, if we win 7 games, I'll be incredibly disappointed. I will. You know, I'll be disappointed because that's not the big jump. That's not the jump we were told about. We were told about this, great big jump to be in the mix for the playoffs. Yeah, that's not happening. So it's definitely disappointing. Ty Bliss says, I love you, Wilson. Ty Bliss, I love you more. I love all you guys, man. Again, I appreciate all you guys showing me support all the time. Again, we have the best family in Husker YouTube. I don't lie when I say that. We have the best family in Husker YouTube. And if you're watching this, even if you don't comment, if you don't comment, you don't like, I love you. I love every single person who watches this because you're a real one and you love this team and you love this program. And that's why we have the community that we do here. So again, I appreciate everybody who supports me, watches the videos, win or loss, man. Because again, this family is incredible. It's special. It really is. Byfield Racing, thank you for the super chat, my man. He says they should change the name of the rivalry from the 5 bits of Broken Chair Trophy to the $200 of broken household appliances because it's tempting to break stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know. I can't speak for you guys, but I wasn't like super angry after today. I wasn't trying to break stuff. I was just sad and disappointed. You know, I'll be angry if we lose to Northwestern. But to me, this game wasn't surprising at all. It just wasn't. It wasn't surprising. Despite me predicting a victory, we've seen this story too many times. It reminded me of where we've been, you know. And I thought things would be different, but I was wrong. I think we all were wrong in a little bit. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Dylan is slow. I mean, he is slow, but he's not supposed to be fast. I mean, he's not a dual threat quarterback. You can be a successful quarterback and not be able to run, right? Like people get too caught up in that. People never know what they want. When we have a dual threat quarterback, we need a pocket passer. When we have a pocket passer, we need a dual threat quarterback. Like, make up your mind. What do you want? Do you want one or the other? Because very, very rarely can you find both. It's the way it goes. I enjoy consuming Husker content from you and other outlets. I do wonder, coach channel or personal gym time takes 20 hours from game prep. Anybody ever remember Saban talking about volleyball or podcasts? Yeah, again, you're not wrong, Ernie. Again, we do too many charades. Again, the podcast I think needs to be gone at this point. We can't do the podcast every week, Matt. Why do the podcast during the season? There's some recruiting benefits, sure, but again, we can't sit here and do podcasts when we're losing to Minnesota and we're not playing to our level. We can't sit here and go on Pat McAfee show and talk crap about our, everything and lose. We can't sit here and, press conference and talk up everything. And it's just, I'm just really disappointed with the coaching staff. And again, they make some bad decisions. They really do. They're too public. They're way too public, and it's clear I don't think it's a hot take to say that we were not prepared for this ball game. I don't think it's a hot take to say that, frankly, nobody was prepared. So, yeah. Daniel, thank you for this $2 super chat. If you guys want to comment right instantly, put in a super chat. Daniel says we will be lucky to get a bowl game if we play like this. We'll make a bowl. We will. I'm confident in that. But what I'm nervous about is if it goes down the wire. Like, I just want to get the monkey off our back early. That's why I wanted to win today so bad. Like, get the monkey off our back, clinch bowl eligibility, move on. I don't want this to go to week 13 like it did last year against Wisconsin. Like, let's get it off of out of the way against Northwestern next week. Let's win and let's move on. Let's move on. So, we should hire somebody like Kurt Cignetti. Well, Cignetti just got he just got an extension, so he's not going anywhere, and he wouldn't come here anyways. So, these are some crazy comments, man. Donovan won't get fired or leave the program as long as Dillon stays. Again, you're completely right. That's what we were saying. It's a package deal. Dillon has this university by the stones. It's just the way it goes, man. It's just the way it goes. I'm not even doing that. I'm not doing that. Why does the Raiola family be mad when it's obvious that the uncle is letting his nephew get abused on national TV? It's an abusive family, man. Maybe those Polynesians. I don't know, man. I don't know. They might. I don't know. I would love to know what Dillon's father's thinking. I'd love to know what Dom's thinking right now about his brother. I'd love to think that, man. I'd love to think that. Go for insight. You guys are taking this too hard. Minnesota is currently tied for third in the Big Ten. Again, I'll be the first to congratulate you. Go for insight. You guys had a great victory today. Great victory. You guys are well coached. You out-schemed us. Looked like you wanted to be there, and you dominated the trenches. You won. PJ Fleck, hats off. Yeah, I got nothing but respect for Minnesota. But with that being said, you and I both know this. Go for insight. Like, you guys aren't like a phenomenal team. I love to give our opponents credit. Trust me, it would look better for Nebraska if you guys were like a playoff team, but we both know you guys are not, right? We both know that, Minnesota's probably only going to win like 7 or 6, right? When it's all said and done. So, again, you guys barely beat Buffalo, barely beat Purdue last week, right? So again, I think that Minnesota's a solid team, really do. But again, I'm expecting 7 wins for you guys. I think you guys are kind of on the same page there. So, but again, I'm not to crap all over you guys. Great victory today. Again, you guys deserved it. 100% you guys deserved it. So, but again, congrats. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys celebrate that, and hopefully you guys get better again. I got a lot of respect for PJ Fleck. A lot of respect. Can we fix this offensive line? We can't. Not this year. What we have right now, we're stuck with. Unfortunately. Dillon's going to leave for his own health. No, I don't think Dillon's going to leave unless he's forced out. I think the only way Dillon leaves is if he ends this year with a stinker. The fan base revolts and says, we want TJ, and Dillon understands the quarterback battle, and Dillon has an ego. We understand that. Like, Dillon thinks he's an elite quarterback. Dillon's not an elite quarterback. So if Dillon starts to hear the fan base kind of revolt against him, and if he hears from Matt Rule that, hey, we might have a quarterback battle, I think that's when Dillon will leave. And he'll go to maybe a program where he's a guaranteed starter. So again, that's way off of the line. Again, I still believe in Dillon. I still believe in him. I still believe that Dillon could be a top guy here, but it was a bad performance today. It really was. My man, Drew. That is my guy, Drew. He says, Mr. Wilson, this one is going to make the next week tougher to deal with. Got to regroup and fix the problems with at least incremental improvement. Thanks for the show. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's going to make the Northwestern talk very interesting. That's for sure. It's going to make the Northwestern talk very interesting. I guess I'm just disappointed because I enjoy when the fan base has optimism. I enjoy when we're sitting here in October, November, talking about potentially making a really good bowl game or, playoffs even, right? It's disappointing when we lose a bowl game like this and get embarrassed and everybody's down in the dumps, right? It's fun for me as a YouTuber when everybody's excited. So, yeah, we just got to move on. And at the end of the day, we all love this team. We all love Nebraska, but we also have to understand that, hey, this happens, right? It happens. And we as Nebraska fans should be accustomed to this. We've dealt with it so much over the past decade. So, Yeah, but again, we need to make improvements everywhere. I mean, it's just, but I'm at the point, and here's the problem, guys. I mean, and this is what I told you guys after the Michigan game. I told you guys this even against Cincinnati, right? At some point during the year, you have your issues and you won't be able to improve your issues, okay? When you have issues maybe in week 1, you can fix some of them, right? When you have some issues, week 3, you can fix some of them. But when you're sitting here and it's week 8 and you have the same issues, those issues aren't going away. They just aren't. Our offensive line's an issue. It's not going away. Get used to it. Our defensive line is an issue. It's not going away, right? We have a bunch of issues and they're not getting better. Maybe they can get minimally better, but if you expect this offensive line to somehow overnight become one of the better in the Big Ten, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So it's the way it goes, man. We got to adjust our expectations, in that order, right? But thanks for the chat, Drew. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you for the super chat. TBG Works. Thank you for the super chat. If you guys want your comment, instantly put in super chat. He says Rule doesn't have the guts to fire Donovan. I agree with you, man. Again, he doesn't. And the reason why he didn't have the guts to even fire Marcus Satterfield or even Ed Foley So yeah, again, the best case scenario with Donnie, he gets demoted. I mean, that's really the best case scenario. He gets demoted and we bring in somebody else to be like a co-offensive coach, offensive line coach in that way. But man, Vincent Shavers' dad in the chat. Vincent Shavers' dad, do you know why Vincent didn't play today? Because I don't think I saw him out there. I know he's been dealing with a hamstring a little bit. But I don't think your son was suited up, but I don't think I saw him. So, but maybe you can give us some insight. But Vin Shavers' dad, we appreciate your son. He's a baller. He says, outcoached, outplayed, and embarrassing. You couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, you're right. It was embarrassing. We got outcoached. PJ Fleck outcoached Matt Rule. You're right, Vincent. It's clear that we were outplayed on offense, defense, special teams, offensive line, defensive line, and yeah, it was embarrassing. So I agree with you, man. I agree. Classy Illinois fan chat. I didn't even see the Illinois fan. I didn't even see him. Oh, here we go. We got one. I see him. As an Illinois fan, I knew Minnesota was going to beat Nebraska. Been an Illinois fan. Nebraska is not a Big Ten team. Keep lying to yourself with the same results. Yeah, okay. Okay, Illinois boy. What are we doing here, bud? What are we doing? You guys got to figure out your own issues right now. But hey, man, talk your talk. You're better than us right now, but you still have. I think you have 2 losses on the year just like us. So let me check this. I think does Illinois only have 1 loss or they have 2? I know they lost to Indiana. Yeah, they lost to Ohio State. So hey, you're sitting here with the same record, so you can't sit here and talk about Illinois being anything because you got the same record as us. But yeah, it's crazy. Illinois fans talking like they're Ohio State fans. I hate it here, man. I hate it here. Get out of here with that, man. Ooh, here we go. Inside scoop from Vincent Shavers' dad. He has surgery on his thumb Tuesday. That's not good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully he's back for Northwestern because again we're banged up. Thank you for that though. I'll write that down. I'll mention that at some point. Yeah, that's not good at all. I'll tell you that. Okay, back to the comment section. 6-6 is best case scenario. No, come on. I don't understand the people who just freak out after 1 loss. Again, it was a bad loss, but come on, we're not doing that. Minnesota will not be ranked at the end of the year. I agree with you. I agree. I don't believe Minnesota's the best team in the world. I don't. People will act like they are. People will act like Minnesota's a playoff team. They always do, but they're just not. Today we lost to an average team. We got embarrassed by an average team. That's just the way it is. We have to confront it. We have to be very, very honest about it. I'm not convinced it's automatic that Dylan and Dayton go away if Donovan is relieved of his duties. If they're as football smart as they should be, they would support the move. No, because again, family's everything to those guys. That's just the way it goes. Family's everything. And if you fire their uncle, how are they supposed to feel, right? Again, they come from a culture that again it's very tight knit. Okay, they grew up around their uncle every single day. That's like their dad. It's like their dad 2.0. Okay, so they're gonna feel some sort of way. They're gonna leave. That's just the way it goes. Why wasn't he on the availability report if he didn't play? Hey man, we break some rules here. It's just the way every Big Ten team does it, right? Well, if we'll won't put guys in the availability report and we won't play them. It happened with Mekhi Nelson, happened with a couple other guys. So it just happens, man. Northwestern's gonna hit us in the mouth. They're a gritty, tough team. We can't win up front. Yeah, I could see it. I haven't even. I haven't really even thought about it yet. Okay, we'll watch the Northwestern game tomorrow. I think it's at 2:00 versus Purdue, and if they win, yeah, I mean, yeah, we gotta have some tough conversations for sure, for sure, for sure. Love that. I love that. Josh is going at him. With my mental status after this game, if my Packers lose Sunday, Packer fan, eh? Oh, I don't know. Packers. I'm not. Who do they even play? I don't even know. I don't even know who the Packers play. I haven't looked at the NFL at all. I'm a Commanders fan, so it's not much better. Oh, you guys play the Cardinals. Yeah, you guys will win there. You guys will win there. Besides Tyson Terry, what new lineman will be here next year? Again, we got. Well, Tyson Terry is here right now, but he's injured. We got Malcolm Simpson. We got Cade Petchock. We got Gabe Moore, who I still like. We got no defensive line commits. But we'll probably get one. We might get DeMond Lewis, so we'll probably get one. It's not a talent issue, it's a coaching issue. Bingo. I noticed Mekhi, he didn't travel with the team. Yeah, he doesn't travel with the team because he's redshirted. Because we can only bring so many guys on trips. So if we're redshirting you, why would you come? You know what I mean? If we're redshirting you, why would you make the trip? For no reason. Because we can only bring like 75 guys on trips. So yeah, he's not. Yeah. As for, do you think he dips? I think it's a possibility. I think it's a very real possibility. Yeah. I think he could go back to Florida. So he kind of wanted to leave last offseason. He was kind of thinking about it last year. So it's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. I mean, well, the portal taketh, the portal giveth away, right? Or portal taketh, the portal give. Oh my goodness, I butchered it, man. It's getting late. What is Matt Rule's ceiling at Nebraska? I've said this the entire time. I think Matt Rule's ceiling is to be a 10-win, 11-win team pretty consistently, compete for Big Ten titles, be in the playoff here and there, and be consistent. That's about it. I don't think Matt Rule's a good enough coach to bring us to national championship worthy, but he's definitely good enough to bring us his stability. So just the way it goes. David says views on Donovan Jones. Yeah, I talked about Donovan earlier on the show. He's no good. He played terrible today. Yeah, he gave up that big touchdown on the fade ball. That was it's a beautiful ball by Drake Lindsay, but he gave up a touchdown. He had a PI that was crucial on 3rd down. He missed a couple tackles here and there too. So I'm at the point with Donnie where we have so many talented players in the secondary, whether it's a Larry Tarver, whether it's a Mario Buford and Amari Sanders. Like, why are we trying to roll out Donovan Jones consistently? He's not very good. He's not good in coverage. He's definitely not good in man coverage. Yeah, he was bad today, man. He was bad. Where were our receivers today? Best receiver is Quinn Clark. Yeah, that says a lot. When your best receiver is Quinn Clark, that definitely says a lot. Trust me on that one. That says a lot. Pretty short press conference, was it? Yeah, I didn't see many quotes. I'm sure Matt Rule wanted to get out of there. I'm sure Matt Rule's pretty embarrassed. He should be. Matt Rule should be incredibly embarrassed after all the talk he did. Let me look if Dylan said anything funny. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here's the Matt Rule quote that everybody was expecting. Matt Rule said, "There's nothing that led me to think that it was going to be like this." That's what he said, per quote. He said that he did not expect it to be like this. Reminder that last year we were 5-1 in a very similar situation on the road versus Indiana. We got blown out in a very similar situation, and Matt Rule went in the press conference and they said the exact same thing, that he said that we played well all week and that he expected a close game. And he said, I'm so shocked that we got blown out by Indiana. So again, maybe Matt Rule is a little bit naive if he thinks all this about the team and then we don't play even close to it. It's crazy, man. Dylan Ryle in the press conference says, "I'm very frustrated right now. It sucks a lot." Dylan says he'll take all the blame and all the hate. 6 points is pretty brutal. I'll take that one. Yeah, I appreciate I appreciate how mature Dylan is, especially the press. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a pretty classy response. Hey, man, I'll tell you this, guys. Maybe the All Whites are cursed a little bit. Maybe the All Whites are a little bit cursed. If we got blown out versus Indiana and Minnesota on back-to-back years in the All Whites, okay, maybe they are a little bit cursed. I'm just kidding. They're not cursed, but we, for whatever reason, we don't know how to play when we wear them. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Still raging. I drove 6 hours to leave the game early in the 4th quarter. Need to get our lick back next weekend. 2:30 kick on Peacock, you think? I do think it'll be on Peacock. Yeah. I heard there was a rumor it's gonna be on Big Noon, but that's not gonna happen anymore. There's no way it's Big Noon after us losing today. I definitely think it's gonna be Peacock, because if it's not, if we don't play on Peacock now, when will we play on Peacock? Will it be against UCLA? That's like the only game we could. So, yeah, I think it'll be on Peacock. I hope it's 2:30. I don't want an 11 a.m. kick. I do not like 11 a.m. kicks. We do not play good on 11 a.m. kicks, and I just hate going down to Lincoln on 11 a.m. I don't like that. I'd rather 2:30 or a night game. So, but today's night game sucked though, because I had to sit here the entire day and get excited for the game, get nervous for the game, and then we play like that. Today sucked. Like, night games normally are kind of fine because I'll watch the other games throughout Saturday, but today when there was no games, it's a Friday, that sucked. And also it sucks that we got to sit here all weekend long and watch college football and watch the NFL and have this L on our forehead, and we'll have that in the back of our mind. We can't even enjoy the other games because we're so frustrated, right? So, Tom, my man Tom says, what's more disheartening is the fact that we're young and next year is a 6-6 worthy schedule. I agree. Again, I agree. Like, that's why it was incredibly terrible, is because next year is not getting any easier. Next year is getting harder. So if we couldn't take advantage of this schedule this year, oh my goodness, I don't even want to see what happens next year. I don't want to see what happens when we play Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. We're going to get obliterated. We're going to get exposed. We're going to get exposed. I don't know, man. Hold on. I want to see. I posted a video right when the game ended. I want to see if I have any funny comments I can respond to in my live. Any top comments here? Oh, people are talking about the offensive line. Worst effort ever. Oh, my video. That's funny. Make sure to watch my video at the end of this live stream, because I posted one right at the end of the ball game. Because I stopped watching the ball game in the fourth quarter, bro. I knew it was over, so I was like, man, I got to make a video and hop on this live. Because, yeah. Hey, Miami lost too. Yeah, I mean, there's a silver lining. We don't like Miami. They blew it in typical Miami fashion. I mean, that's Miami every year. They start off hot, they're ranked pretty high, and they lose against like a team they shouldn't. So I'm not shocked by that at all. I was watching that game. Senator Bricks says, I recently started watching your videos. Senator, welcome to the family, my man. He says, I love your content. I wanted to ask, it seems like players struggle so much in Nebraska, and when they leave, they suddenly succeed. Yeah, I mean, it all stems with the coaching, really. I mean, I don't necessarily agree that all the time they succeed. Like, I think there are a bunch of examples of players who leave and don't find success, like James Williams, Jamari Butler, Malachi Coleman, who played today, Jalen Lloyd. Like, there are a lot of examples of players who don't succeed, but I mean, you're not wrong. But again, I think, yeah, I mean, it falls on the coaching staff. Like, for example, I'll throw an NFL example. Like, Daniel Jones was a long-time quarterback for the Giants. He was terrible. I know this as a Commander fan. He goes over to the Colts this year and he's balling out. That's what happens when you have a better coaching staff, right? So sometimes it just falls on the coaching staff. I think we have the talent. I really do. We recruit well. We get players in the portal. We have NIL. We have money. It falls on the coaching staff. It falls on developing. It falls on preparation. It falls on adjustments. That's what happens. And at the end of the day, players are getting paid nowadays, and that's a conversational point, but the coaches are getting paid a lot more. So the coaches should always get more blame. Matt Rule should always get more blame. Okay, this game is on Matt Rule more than anybody else. Byfield Racing, thank you for the super chat. You guys want to come instantly put a super chat. He says, I'm glad these players and coaches can keep their demeanor in the press conferences. If I were me, there'd be a lot of screaming. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad thing that they keep their demeanor. Maybe that tells you that they're not as committed as maybe they should be. If they're in their ho hum, right? Ho hum, dude. My TV's still set on Fox on my left hand side here. I got TV, and they're playing Seinfeld. What is this Seinfeld episode, dude? There's something weird on the screen. I'll tell you what. Don't go on Fox right now. You'll see it. I don't even know. We got George Costanza or something. That's his name, right? I don't watch Seinfeld. Sitting in this hotel room in Minneapolis, praying an offensive lineman comes down from above to play all 5 positions for us. He's gonna come from the heavens. He's gonna come down. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that's the issue with college football. You got to rock with your guys, and we don't got the guys. It's not like we can get free agents. It's not like we can trade for anybody. Matt Rule, he made a mistake by only getting 2 players on the offensive line in the portal. We got to roll with the mistake the rest of the year, man. It's the way it goes. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Just the way it goes. But life goes on. This guy says, bad call refs. Are you talking about our game or the Cal game? I don't know. I mean, the refs had some interesting moments today, but I am proud of you guys, though. We have not really had any ref comments today. I think we all realized that we lost this game not because of the refs. I mean, the refs weren't perfect. We could complain about the refs, but I'm proud of you guys for not blaming the refs, because Because, yeah, Nebraska fans have a bad tendency of doing that. Nebraska fans, for whatever reason, we'll get blown out, and yet people will be like, oh, the refs are the reason we lost. Like, no, no, they really weren't. They really weren't. My man, Lou D, thank you for the super chat. You guys want to come and instantly put in the super chat. He says, all abroad, the Nebraska ball train. Yeah, I don't know about that one, my man. They play BYU tomorrow. I think they're going to lose by about 50 points, maybe 60. Yeah, if we're aboard the Nebraska ball train, we're not going to be happy, man. See, that's why I'm a J-Sker. That's why I root for both Nebraska and Creighton, unfortunately. I say that because I go to Creighton, though. I have an excuse. I have an excuse for rooting for Creighton. I go to Creighton. Yeah, Nebraska basketball is not it. I root for every team in Nebraska before I get J-Sker comments. I root for every team in Nebraska. I love this state so much. I root for every team, whether it's Nebraska, Creighton, Omaha, Concordia, Doane, freaking, I don't know. Any university in Nebraska, I'll root for them because I love all these universities. John Johnston didn't make a video at Coronation tonight. He's missed an opportunity. He would probably go viral if he made one, and he'd go back in the bathroom. Is what he's probably doing that right now. I'll bet he'll have one out. He's going to the bathroom and he's talking about how bad this team is. I love John Johnston though. He's my guy. He's funny. I want to hear his rant because I'm not gonna rant. I think I ranted maybe a little bit in this live stream, but I thought I kept it pretty real, pretty calm. But I think John might rant a little bit. He might rant a little bit, but I want to see that video. I think he might have one tomorrow. He might be tired, Might be tired. I don't blame him. So it's going to be a late night tonight. On the bright side, at least our volleyball team is undefeated. Yeah, I guess. Volleyball team. I mean, yeah. That's nice. That's nice, I guess. But I can't sit here and act like the volleyball team's really making me super happy all the time. Like, I support the volleyball team, but, man, like, if they won a natty, that'd be cool, but that doesn't. I like the volleyball team. I support them, but that's not compared to football. I'd rather football. If I had a decision between volleyball winning 10 consecutive national championships or Nebraska winning one national championship in football, I would pick football every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, and it's not close. How much longer till Rule's in the hot seat? Yeah, we're not doing that. And also his buyout's like what, 50 mil or something. It's crazy. So no, we're not doing that. Jesus couldn't save Nebraska football, unfortunately. Again, maybe he doesn't like us. I don't know. Maybe I pray to God all the time, and I just think for whatever reason, God does not, for whatever reason, he does not look at Nebraska favorably on Saturdays and Fridays. For whatever reason. I'm kidding. We're not bringing God into this because maybe God does. Maybe God just wants to teach us a hard lesson, about what we should put our emotions into. And again, life goes on, right? Life goes on. That's my message to you guys. It's obviously a disappointing loss today, but we're gonna wake up tomorrow and our life goes on. Our life goes on, and Nebraska football goes on. So it's either you sit here and you give up and have pessimism, or you look at it through, a decent lens and say, we can bounce back. But life will always go on. And, just enjoy the small things, right? I know today was a tough loss, but, we are past the halfway point of the season, We're at the halfway point of the season. We have 5 games left, and even though you might think that you don't want to watch Nebraska football play after what we did today, there's going to be a part of you when, March rolls around or, July rolls around that would do anything to watch Nebraska play. So just enjoy these next couple weeks. Don't take it for granted. Even though we lost a day, life goes on. Life goes by so quick. It goes by so quick. I know this, man. I woke up yesterday. I feel like I was 10 years old, man, watching Amir Abdullah. Now I'm 19 doing YouTube. Who would have thought? So life goes by. So just wake up every day, enjoy it, live your life to the fullest, and enjoy college football tomorrow, and life will go on. Life will go on, man. It's just the way it goes. Is it possible Dylan's passing will be more accurate when he ends up in a full body cast? You're asking the right questions here. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and hate my favorite team for being stupid. Or you could wake up and forget it happened and watch the other games and, maybe watch Iowa lose or watch something else, I don't know. I mean, just look at everything through a positive lens. Again, I'm as disappointed as the rest of you guys are. I really am. I'm disappointed. Trust me. But at the end of the day, man, again, we still have things to look forward to. We still have things to look forward to. We have 5 games left. We can still win 9 games this year. You might laugh at that, but I mean, you never know. You never know. We still might win 8 games this year. You never know. So, season's not over. That's what I'll tell you. Season's not over. It's going to be real quick next Saturday. Northwestern rolls. Yeah, Northwestern rolls. It's going to be real quick, guys. We'll just go in there first quarter. They'll be up 70-0. We'll knee it out. We'll just knee it out. So, we forfeit. Wave the white flag. Northwestern rolls. Well, we might as well just forfeit the season, guys. Let's forfeit everything. It's over. It's over. Let's forfeit everything. Come on, man. Come on. Can I ask you, do you really think Rule can change this team? Year 3, we might win 2 more games. Listen, we're making progress. At this point, I'm having questions about whether or not Matt Rule can bring us to 10 wins. That's why I always hoped was that Matt Rule could just bring us to 10 or 11 wins consistently. I'm at the point with Matt where I just want us to bring us to 8 wins consistently. Be a PJ Fleck. If he could be a PJ Fleck or be a Paul Christ or a Kirk Ferentz, that wouldn't even be that bad. But I don't think he can be a PJ Fleck because PJ Fleck's actually a good in-game coach and Matt Rule isn't. And Matt Rule's never shown the ability to make adjustments. So that's just the truth. That's just the truth. I'm so salty. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, we lost a game with so much on the line. And we're going to get memed tomorrow on game day, on big noon kickoff. Everybody's memeing us currently. They think we're a joke. We are a joke. That's what hurts. We played a rival today. They're going to meme us. We had a big opportunity to clinch bowl eligibility. We had a big opportunity to move up in the rankings. I mean, this team is a joke. It's just, it's true. This team's a joke, man. But they can control that narrative. They can prove they're not a joke next week. Again, this team will be defined based on how they respond. Not really off of today, but how they respond. I think last year the Indiana game didn't define us. What defined us as honestly not a very good team is that we never got back up. We lost 5 of our last 6. That's what defined us. So again, we will be defined by what we do going forward. Byfield Racing, thank you for the super chat. He says, we need to come out with fire. The last time I've seen Nebraska come out with fire was 2022 versus Iowa. I completely agree with you, man. And the reason why we did that versus Iowa is because we played with nothing to lose. We played with nothing to lose. We went in that ball game with Mickey Joseph, who knew he was gone, with Casey Thompson, with Trey Palmer, and we said, you know what, screw it, we're raising hell. And we went out there and balled out. We almost blew the game. I mean, we literally almost blew it. We were up like 24-0, and they came stormed back, but still we won, So, yeah. I wish sometimes we play like we had nothing to lose. Today I don't know. I don't even know what we look like we had no identity today whatsoever. I mean, what is our identity? Our identity is that we lose. That is our identity, is that we, for whatever reason, know how to lose. That's for dang sure. So that is for dang sure. We lose. Being a Nebraska fan has been an abusive relationship for the past 10 years. Tell me about it, man. It's been an abusive relationship my entire life. Been an entire life, man. And at least some of you guys got to witness natties or national championships or, conference championships, good moments. Like the younger fan base, man, we've got to witness none of this. We're sitting here. I mean, this is not new to us. I mean, my generation has seen this so many times. So. But again, I guess I'm disappointed that I thought Matt Rule was going to be a little bit different. It wasn't the case, At least it's not the case right now. But again, I'm not drawing conclusions after one loss. Why do we go away from using Barney? I don't think Dane knows how to utilize him. Yay Bar says keep it up. You keep it up. Yay Bar, thank you for your support, my man. Gunner played horrible. Yeah, he was terrific. I think he gave up 4 sacks on the day. He sucks, man. He's terrible. He's terrible. He just is. I live in Utah. We got the Holy War tomorrow. Yeah, man, maybe you should be a BYU fan. I wouldn't blame you, dude. I wouldn't blame you if you were a BYU fan. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, hey, man, it might be a little bit more fun. But, yeah, that will be a fun game. What, is that 11 o'clock tomorrow? I'll watch that for sure. I mean, let's pull up the games tomorrow. Let's pull up the games. Let's think about some other the Husker football for a second before I get back to the comment section. Let's pull up the games tomorrow. Let's pull up the games. We got anything interesting? LSU Vandy. That'll be kind of a fun game. Washington Michigan will be a good one. We got some good games tomorrow. At least, I mean, on the bright side, we don't have to sit here and stress about Nebraska all day. We can just enjoy the other games, with peace. I pray that none of you guys are going to pumpkin patches with your wives or anything or girlfriends. Like, nah, college football Saturday. We still got to lock in and watch some ball. That'll be a slaughter. Ohio State, Michigan. Let's see. Ole Miss, Georgia. That'll be fun. Texas Tech, Arizona State might be a good game too. That Mississippi State, Florida might be a good game. Texas, Kentucky might be a good game. Penn State, Iowa will be. Oh, why is it on Peacock? Why is Penn State, Iowa on Peacock? Are you kidding me? Bro, that's disgusting. I always had 2 games on Peacock this year. That's disgusting, bro. Why are they putting those games on Peacock? UCLA, Maryland will be fun. Tennessee, Bama will be fun. Yeah, there's some good games, night games. Yeah, there are some really good night games. Hey, man, it'll be a fun day of college football. It'll definitely be a fun day of college football. Oh, hold on. Turned off my picture for a second. All right, guys. We've been going for about 2 hours here. I got to do my video for tomorrow. I'll rewatch the game tonight and do my video. So again, put your final stuff in here. We've been going for about 2 hours, man. Yeah. I mean, we talked about everything there was to be talked about, man. I mean, it is what it is. All right, put in your final stuff, guys. I'll give you guys my final word and we'll get out of here. I don't want to waste your nights talking about a team that clearly doesn't really care too much about us. There's no hope. I'm not going to say that part. Go Big Red, John Johnston. Yep, I think there's hope, but yeah, it was definitely frustrating. Matt Rule, that's crazy. That's crazy. My dad came in from New York to watch the game with me tonight for the first time since I was a kid. That's awesome, John. Honestly, you should still cherish that. You should still cherish that, despite the fact Nebraska lost. Should still cherish that. I mean, but obviously you would have liked for Nebraska to win for sure. No question. Any games to watch tomorrow? Yeah, I'll watch the Holy War. I'll watch the 2 SEC games. I'll watch Bama, Tennessee. I'll watch Georgia, and Ole Miss. I'm definitely going to watch Northwestern. I'll scout up on them a little bit. I think Michigan, Washington has an opportunity to be a really good game. I think honestly it's a really good slate tomorrow. We'll see some big upsets tomorrow. Really, we really will. So I think there'll be I think there'll be some really good games tomorrow. So I'm that's my only positive is that like I'm gonna have some fun watching college football tomorrow, regardless of today's loss. I'll have some fun. I'm not gonna let today ruin me like it will for maybe some of you guys. I don't know. Mr. Wilson not liking these Friday Night Light games or the surrenders. Unranked Louisville beats ranked Miami and unranked Minnesota beats ranked Nebraska. Yep. Yeah, Friday Night Lights, I didn't think it happened. We've seen some craziness. Yeah, I agree. I don't like it. And last time we played on Friday Night Lights, we were also ranked against Illinois and we lost. So, yeah, maybe we should never play on Friday night again. How you feel about Torrey Pittman? Feeling good about him. High potential, 5-star. What's not to like, my man? Donnie's horrendous. Yeah, both Donnies. Both Donnies are bad, my man. Both. Nebraska is 120th in sacks allowed. No way Scur's beating anybody left on the schedule. Come on. We'll be fine. All right, guys. Final stuff in here. Again, by the way, hit the like button on the stream. Let's get to 150. Let's get to 150 by the time we leave. Also, again, if you're somehow watching this and you're not subscribed, join the family, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Final word, guys. Final word. I'm disappointed. I am. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm embarrassed a little bit. Again, we all deserve to be embarrassed. We all deserve to be upset. I'm not going to sugarcoat that part. It's clear that this team was not prepared today. It's clear that Matt Rule is not prepared today. We let the outside narratives, take over the ball game, whether it was the Penn State, whether it was, again, the white uniforms, the pink helmets. Again, we cared too much about the extracurriculars besides actually the game itself. And that showed up. And obviously the offensive line didn't play well. Obviously the defensive line didn't play well. I know it's easy for people to say, oh, we're screwed. We're never going to win a game. Again, we'll learn a lot about this team from where we respond, from how we respond. I do believe that Northwestern's a very objectively it's an easier game, right? We can still beat Northwestern. And that's just all I'm asking. All I'm asking is to beat Northwestern. Go 6-2. 6-2 is still a good record, guys. And then figure it out from there. Clinch bowl eligibility. You got the monkey off your back. You're playing with house money, right? But the way Nebraska really, in my opinion, collapses in the season is if we allow this to snowball. We potentially lose versus Northwestern, lose versus USC, and you're sitting here versus maybe Iowa or Penn State hoping for a victory to clinch bowl eligibility. Okay. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. So you got to beat Northwestern. That's the most important thing. But as for this offensive line, it can't be fixed. I mean, we know that. The offensive line cannot be fixed. The defensive line cannot be fixed. We have our pieces. We got to roll with them. It's clear that coaching staff, we need to move on with some guys. Matt Rhule will not make that decision, so we can't even talk about it because we know that Matt Rhule's going to, we know that Dane's going to be here. We know that Terry Brain's going to be here. Again, I just say, just stay positive. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to stay positive in moments like this. I know it's easy to crash out. I know it's easy to lose all hope. But again, we still have 5 games left. And you forget that in March you would have done anything to watch Nebraska football play. So just enjoy it. Enjoy every single day. Build up your confidence again. We're not screwed. The season's not over. Obviously, it's disheartening, but changes will be made. And you just got to trust the coaching staff. I know it's hard to do that right now. It's hard to trust Matt Rhule, especially after today. But you just got to trust. You got to trust they're going to make adjustments. You got to trust that what they say is actually true, that we're actually going to make a run this year and put something on the field that these fans deserve to be proud of. So, yeah, just believe, man. Just believe and believe it's going to get better. And if we get burnt, we get burnt, man. But I'd rather believe and get burnt than just be pessimistic the rest of the season, you know? I'm going to enjoy the rest of the 5 games. I really will. So, terrible loss today. We lost to a rival. We lost to Minnesota. It is what it is. But guys, life goes on. We'll wake up tomorrow in our same bed, in our same house, and we'll enjoy college football, and life will go on. It's just the way it goes. All right, guys. I will be back on the channel tomorrow. I will rewatch the game a little bit tonight. I'll do a video, and I will be back on the channel. Probably, I will post a video around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I'll post a video in about 9 hours. And it'll be very honest. We'll put it at that. So make sure to be here 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have a very honest breakdown of this last one where we go from here. All right, guys. Hit that like button on the way out. I see we're at 148 likes. Let's get to 150 on the way out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Go Big Red. Go Matt Rhule. Keep the faith. Life goes on. See you tomorrow in my wrap-up video at 9 o'clock.